Okay, hello and welcome everybody. Just a few announcements here before we get started and running with the Curse of Strahd campaign and revisiting where we were when we last left off. Everyone here is enjoying some snacks in this hot summer day. So, for the channel moving forward, we're going to be moving onto a new banner starting next stream. We'll be resuming with Sunday streams starting next Sunday. We moved over today for Father's Day. But moving forward, we're going to be under a new banner. So this is going to be at Dragon Poet Society. So that's where you'll find us on all the social media. That's where you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and our Twitch will be shifting over to that in a few days. So my thing has a few more days before it's allowed to be shifted over, and keeping all the followers. So those of you who already watch us and follow us, thank you so much. You won't have to do that. You won't have to renew anything. It should automatically transfer over. And new people, that's where you'll find us. So, without further ado, I'm Nicholas, your DM, and we'll be jumping right into the recap for Curse of Strahd. So, when last we left off, the team had dealt with one decrepit hag at the decrepit mill, and another quickly approached, wrangling the children and working to wear down the powerful hag. The team fought a long and hard-won combat to emerge victorious. However, disturbing thoughts and images were in plenty during this battle and in the aftermath as Nora summoned some sort of cursed skeletal wing power that emerged from her back and boosted her might with shadowy energy. So a little bit more than meets the eye to our paladin gal there. The hags also indicated that they knew something of Nora, or at least her description given to them by a third party. So a few questioning glances were cast. On a more quiet note, though still interesting, Jennifer also seemed to be hearing some unusual things, whispers that guided her amidst the fight. She was thinking it was Irina, who fell asleep quite a few times in those fights with the hags. Poor Irina. Ransacking the mill and journeying onwards, the team met Aragal, a lone Vistani on the road. From him, they learned that the Vistani are not welcome in Vallaki, and so they have a camp to the town's southeast. Aragal asked the party to buy a doll from Blinsky's toy shop for his niece, for her upcoming birthday, and deliver it to him at their camp for a little bit of a bonus gold. Additionally, the group quickly learned that Vallaki had a little bit less of a warmer welcome than they would have hoped, and only through Irina's tactful and political station was the party allowed to keep their more militaristic weaponry as escorts to Irina. They were pointed in the direction of the Blue Water Inn until such time as Baron Vargas Velakovich may call upon the Lady Irina, and they were told of the various laws regarding not saying Strahd's name, and regarding the upcoming festival, the Festival of the Blazing Sun, which will occur in 4 days' time with mandatory attendance. Having talked their way through the gate, the team now wanders into the entrance of Vallaki, and here, I'm just going to give a quick description of what you guys are seeing. Inside, I've got my notes all aflutter. Inside, despite that less than warm welcome that you received, it appears to be a refuge here from all the troubles that you've encountered. And what you can see, there aren't overt troubles and dangers at every turn like there were on the road. A few folk are milling about their business or visiting a series of warehouses and warehouse-looking shops, which is where you guys are sort of mostly appearing. They're sort of more on your guys' left to the south. A bright and colorful carnival wagon is stationed not far from these shops and is drawing the eye. So let me get the standard carnival wagon run in for us here. We've got that to be put on the table here, and that is not far from the shops. We will we'll place that here. This is all on camera. Just backing this up. Okay, so with all that said, that's sort of where we're leaving off with the team arrayed as thus. Is there anything anyone would like to do, seeing what they're seeing? What's everyone doing? How's everyone looking?
Just before we jump into it, I just wanted to check the name. Iznek Strezeki? Or Strezeki? That's the captain?
Izek Strozny, captain of the guard. Yes, okay. And somewhat, based on the guard's reactions, somewhat of a unusual individual, or stern individual, perhaps.
Okay.
They had interesting... you had some insight into how they were mentioning his name.
Perfect. So that was the only piece. And then the other thing for the team is I don't know that we've divvied up gold. Brandon divvied up part of it, like when we got it from the end. But from just as a general thought, maybe when we go to the merchants, wherever we're going to sell some things, we take a minute to divvy up all the gold and things amongst ourselves.
We have 11 golds and some silver not divvied up, but sort of out in the party fund.
In the party fund.
In the Google Doc.
And we had pieces of jewelry and silver amulets and some
What
moss
is
agates
this
and
Google that you speak of? What a magical service.
It's quite magical. I almost feel like someone's watching me when I use it, but I'm sure that's nothing.
Evil presence that you're feeling.
And
I have felt that always, so I do not know the difference.
it's fair.
Alright, cool.
What time of day is it?
I believe you guys stayed over. You slept
Overnight.
in the mill. Is that correct? According to my notes, that's what happened. And then the team moved forward onwards. So it was a few-hour journey from
It's
the
like
mill.
midday or something.
So it should be somewhere a little bit before midday, somewhere midday, early afternoon time would be
Okay.
appropriate.
And you said the cart was coming into town, or it's just resting?
Just parked by the warehouses and shops on the left side of the party, to the south.
Alright. What are we going to do, gang?
I suggest we go to the tavern so that we can secure lodging and we can find out about a doctor. Which
That sounds like a good
I think
first step.
might be a priority for you,
Good
right?
first step, yep.
Stat.
Okay, so are you guys are heading to the
The inn.
inn,
the
moving
Blue-
forward.
Blue Water Inn?
Yep.
Okay, so you don't see it anywhere immediately, but you guys can continue on into the town as you guys are moving forward. If that
Can we
is
ask?
what
So you
wish
said
to
there's
do.
some people milling around. Can we ask one of the folks milling around to get directions?
Sure. So yeah, go ahead and make a perception check to see who's milling around.
So it's checking the stats. I think it's a 16. It's either 15 or 16. It is a 16.
Okay. Yeah, you see what looks to be a sort of rugged, rough-looking, bald, bearded guy who looks kind of like he's got a cloak of different leather skins stitched together of some kind. He's got a bow with a lot of knocks in it. You kind of see him and are able to flag him down.
Hey, ho there! We're looking for the Blue Water Inn. Point us in
Blue-
the right direction.
Yeah, Blue Water, good place to get a good drink. The Mardikovs are a nice folk. They are, if you head on past the town square, just a little bit farther past the center of town, you can't miss it. Just keep going straight. It'll be on the north side of the main causeway here.
Perfect, thank you. And we heard there's a festival in a few days. Where is that being held?
That'll be the town square. Another bloody festival. Well, if you excuse me, I'm just about to step into the boyery here. I've got a few more arrows to buy, if there are any left, that is. And kind of hustles on.
Okay.
Irina's like, oh, well, perhaps I will have to restock there with a few of the crossbow bolts that have been serving us so well.
If there's any left, based on what you just said.
Yes, perhaps. Should we go now? Or is it better to get the accommodations? What do you think?
I love weapons.
Oh, well, that is good to know.
I think
That's,
the inn is the right first step.
you see a
right?
guard kind of walk past and give you a little bit of a look as he overhears.
I'm like, oh. I shrug my shoulders like, can't hide it. Marilu sort of turns with the great axe on her back, just, yeah.
Now, the right to bear arms in Vallaki is legal, as the man was just carrying a bow, but you guys are drawing some looks with your more militaristic weaponry, which is not standard here.
Okay. So we'll try and cover some of that up. Darian will make sure swords are properly stowed and cover it up with his cloak as much as possible so as not to draw attention.
Yeah, pretty easy for you to do. It's a little harder for someone like Mary Lou with her great axe,
Or the
or
giant
Clay
scythe.
with the giant scythe.
And with their muscles, right to bear arms.
So let's head on down through the town square.
Does anyone want to do anything else before we keep going?
While we're on our way down, I want to look around at the townspeople and see if I can get a general vibe for if people are content, is there like laughter, people playing in the streets, like trying to get a general mood.
Sure.
Of the
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Hey, starting off strong. That is a 9.
Right now you're just relieved to be behind some gates and back into the civilization. Yeah, exactly. Back into the bowels of civilization there. So that's probably where your focus is. You're not seeing a bunch of frolicking and laughing children, but you're also not, hearing crying moans like you did in Barovia village, right at the base of Ravenloft there.
Great.
What did you want to do, Nora? You said you were going to mention something. Did you want to do anything while we're here?
I was gonna do something similar. Just
Okay.
looking around.
Sure. Go ahead and make an insight check. You can roll as well.
11.
11. Yeah, it seems terse and tense, but not as, not as openly downtrodden and broken as the village of Barovia was. That is for sure. So by contrast, it's a much more pleasant atmosphere. Certainly, it's more intact. The buildings look a little bit more. They're still worn and old, but they're at least more intact.
Right.
And the distinct lack of a crying lady's sobs is a notable improvement on the decor. So, with that, you guys carry on and move forward to heading on past a few other spaces. You guys move along and are moving ever forward through the trotting streets, and it's a reasonable pace, and it's a reasonable time of day, and the mists aren't as choking here, so it's nice to be able to see your surroundings, the buildings spreading out here and there, the winding alleyways and other nooks and crannies. What you do notice is as you are crossing along past, make sure I know, so one of the things you notice is what looks like from the eastern center of town, a sort of winding main causeway that splits off of the road that you guys are traveling, and it seems to be around a central space. The shops and homes there sort of enclose a square and are decorated with limp, tattered garlands and painted wooden boxes with tiny dead flowers in them. At the northern end of the square, you sort of see a few people kind of eyeing you with some suspicion and curiosity in equal parts.
Anything specific about these people?
Nope, they just look like peasants in patchwork cloak, and patchwork clothing. And you see they looks like they're drawing water from a crumbling stone fountain.
Okay.
Why don't we have two people go ahead and make perception checks as we move past?
Darren will do this.
Okay, got a roll on the table.
Not much room on the table.
You can make some space.
I got a 6.
You able to work? You do it. You can part the feast. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. That's a 12.
A 12. Okay. Well, you're noticing that these peasants are stooping to a crumbling stone fountain, and it looks like they're dipping and getting some water there.
Okay.
It looks like there's a statue with a sort of impressive-looking man facing to the west boldly. You also see what looks like a stage of some kind, kind of just as you glance past. But you're not really focusing too much on it. This is sort of more as you're moving along without stopping to look. But you hear some strange noises. Like people making donkey noises, not actual donkeys.
Okay.
Coming from the far side of the stage. But otherwise, without any further investigation, unless you guys would like to stop and investigate, you guys are moving forward, or?
I think we had a mission at the end. Get
I'm
London
very
secure.
tempted, but I think that if we let your foot rot for like 10 more minutes,
I
it's going
think
to turn
it's
into
gonna be a problem.
liquid soup. So maybe we should focus.
Thanks
on
for
that.
that diagnosis.
Is it
there,
already? Is it
Jennifer.
already a soup?
It's not. I don't.
Okay.
I haven't dared to open it, but I can still. It's still solid as long as I know. As far as I know.
Oh, that's a lovely surprise.
No offense, buddy. You're starting to smell a little bad.
Yes, it is quite rotten, frankly. But perhaps the priest here might be able to assist us. I would very much like to speak with him. Perhaps once we have made accommodations at the inn.
Perfect. So perhaps we can do that right after checking in at the end.
Okay. Carrying on, you guys come across a store that looks like, just very briefly, Darian, you or Cladu have the highest passive perception, and you would notice there's a little shop's sign that says Blinsky's Toys.
Okay.
But you guys carry on unless you want to continue investigating any further?
Not at this point.
Okay, so
Anyone
moving
else
on.
wanna-
Yeah, I mean, we
We
can
can
like, stop
We
by
can always
later.
come back. Yep.
Yes, it seems we are single-minded in finding a little bit of shelter. That sounds nice. And Irina's excited at the prospect, and she is looking around, like kind of
Trying to
rubbernecking
take it all
all
in,
over the
yeah.
place. Not just trying to take it all in, but clearly on alert.
Okay.
Okay. And the two kids that you had with you.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it 3?
Yes, that there are 3, in fact. Let's make
Three,
sure.
a dog, a moth.
Yeah.
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 For the sake of concision, I meant to add one more piece with the guard, which is that we will take these young orphans here into the orphanage if you wish to visit them. St. Andrew's Orphanage is located at the very western end of Vallaki, past the church. They will be kept well there until such time as you're able to visit. There's a little bit of a sad moment as Irina stoops and gives them each a hug. And, I want to go there, I want to go with you, Irina. But for sake, that's my bad. I should have clarified that or had that at the last session. But the guards quickly, Irina is quickly able to convey to the guards the importance of what these children have been through and what they need. And they are sent to the orphanage with escorted there by the guards, and you guys have given directions in case you
Well
want to go
wishes
visit.
from the party. Yeah.
Eventually, you guys come past the town square, practically in the middle of town, and come to a building with sort of a 2-story space with gray smoke that billows above from the chimney, stone foundation and sagging tile roof upon which several ravens have perched, pecking and hopping about. Amidst the corvids, there is a larger blue raven with blue wingtips, the one you have seen a few times before. Painted wooden sign above depicts a blue waterfall and reads the Blue Water Inn. And you guys entering, anything you guys want to do before you go enter in?
Irina,
Yes?
I'm not much of a bird watcher, but I don't think I've seen a raven with wings like that before. Are they common in these here parts?
Ravens are lucky creatures here in Barovia. It is said that they carry the souls of the dead. However, I do not know if there is much truth to that. I have not seen one with blue-tipped wings, but stranger things have been seen.
Does anybody else feel like they're being followed by this raven?
It does seem to be showing up in our travels quite a bit.
A little too many times. Can I look at it to see if it's purposefully watching us?
Make a perception check.
Mm, 14.
They all seem to be watching you in the way that animals observe newcoming movement in live animals. It doesn't seem to be particularly staring you down with its raven eyes.
Okay.
Should I try to catch it?
I could distract it and run the other way.
Okay.
Can I sprint across the street?
Okay, you begin to sprint.
I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna get right up to the edge of the building. How tall is the?
It's 2 stories, so about 20 to 25 feet.
If Mage Hand has a range of 30, I should be able to reach to the bird.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. I would like to try to. I'm gonna have them appear in the opposite direction of where Nora's running, so it would be behind the bird, assuming the bird's paying attention to her.
Nora, make a performance check. And Jennifer, then you go ahead and make a spellcasting ability check. Just roll in on your charisma modifier.
18.
18. Okay.
23.
And so as
Hang on. Okay, so as you're bolting across, you in armor, running fast in the streets, a guard with a greatsword strapped to his back says, "What are you doing? Who goes there?" And immediately is marching up to you and saying, What are you doing? Where are you heading in such a hurry, so heavily armed as you are?"
I don't know, I got really scared by those birds.
"They're just crows. They're lucky creatures. Why are you running with your heavy armor? What is it that you're doing?
I've never seen these type of birds.
And
in my
who
parts.
gave you authorization to be so heavily armed? What's going on? Explain yourself."
We're here with Irina. She's
And at this point, Irina is hurrying to catch up. No, they are my escort. I am Irina Koryanovich. I am the daughter of the late burgomaster of the village of Barovia, and I am here, and these are my escorts. They were merely scouting the scene and making sure that all security causeways are. I'm going to roll a deception check. She got a natural 1.
Oh, you're gonna get it together, girl.
Yes, well, we'll be going now. It's okay. We cleared it all with your guardsmen. Speak to your superior officer. I'm sure it'll get sorted out. And the guy's like, very well. Well, it's good to know where to find you. Do not leave the Blue Water Inn before end of night. We have some questions for you.
Never mind.
Did you want to say something, or was this in character, or?
Nope.
Okay. What did you get?
23.
23. Okay. Is the casting range of Mage Hand 30 feet, or is it that it can move 30 feet? Remind me.
Let me look. Range is 30 feet.
Okay, so you could cast it within that range.
And I can move the hand up to 30 feet.
Okay. So you could cast it 30 feet away, like behind the raven, and try and grab it, which is what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a quick, you're able to grab it. You grab the creature, and the rest of the ravens begin flapping down and begin diving toward you. Immediately, there are like pecking at you and like scratching at you to try and get you to stop.
Screaming out.
Mary Lou's gonna try to just, like, not hurt the ravens, but just try to grab some off her.
Okay, that's going to be 13 to hit and 21 to hit.
Do you want it? Okay.
13 hits.
And 21 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 4 points of piercing damage. As the ravens...
Can I run up and
Can
try
we-
to like shield her?
Can we take actions?
This isn't like a combat situation so much as you're just being... Like, none of you were prepared for her to use Mage Hand or for the crows to dive bomb her. The ravens to dive bomb her. At this point, go ahead and make another spellcasting ability check to see if you're able... The bigger raven is clearly trying to resist.
Can I?
That is a 21.
21. It's still trapped in the grasp of your Mage Hand.
Pull it.
But Irina says, I really think it is a bad idea. The villagers here do not seem to be taking kindly to our antics so far. Please stop. Please stop.
To catch it.
Well, I do not know that that's going to be such a good idea. You're already drawing, and already guards are moving in.
Oh,
like
no.
a pair of guards on either side are like flanking in
Okay,
from the
I'll
side
drop
here.
this.
Take the raven.
Okay.
Bring the raven.
Can I bring
Can
it
I-
down?
What are you doing? Why are you harassing the ravens?
I need this
What's
for-
this unauthorized use of magic inside Vallaki?
Say we couldn't use magic? No one ever told me we couldn't use magic.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
And
Deception?
Darian is going to cast...
Persuasion. 'cause
Darian is going to
contact
cast
is fine.
friends on the guard who's doing it, trying to do it covertly.
Okay, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check to try and do it covertly, and then what kind of save do I have to make against friends?
So my sleight of hand is
We're too heavily on
14.
and we're not with them, right?
Okay.
and against
I'm
friends.
watching in awe at the moment.
It's-
I don't
it
know
says
what's
it's
happening
one-
or why, but we're gonna end up in jail.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Probably.
gonna. Yeah.
You guys wanted the bird too, don't you?
Oh, so it would be
At least
for
wanna, like,
me
see
taking
the
the
eyes
aggressive
of
attack,
the
so I have to do some of the talking.
Bert?
But it's not a test. It's just that when it ends, or after a minute, the creature might be prone to attack us, or we will be more hostile. So it says I get advantage
Okay,
on all.
here, let me just look it up.
Uh-huh.
And I will see. Okay, yeah. So, you cast friends towards one of the guards.
Yeah, towards myself, right?
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I have advantage.
No.
I have
Advantage,
advantage.
you have advantage.
You have advantage on all charisma directed towards one creature. Oh, one creature. So the guard, one of the
Towards,
guards.
so one of the guards.
Whatever lead guard is coming forward.
Yeah, the greatsword guy is back. And you've got 3 other people with him now.
Okay.
And he's saying, "Stop what you're doing! Stop right there! Get on the ground now! Put your hands behind your back!"
Okay.
And so Darian is intercepting, and he's saying, "No, it's all right. We've been hunted, and we're trying to make sure that we're not being followed. If you'll notice, this raven has very different, distinct markings from the rest. We
Go
think
ahead and make a
there's
persuasion check.
Nat 20.
Okay.
If you let me bring him to you, you can look at the raven.
We can show you.
Yes, well, this isn't an irregular raven, but please respect our laws. Magic is not allowed unauthorized usage inside of Vallaki.
Noted.
Additionally, you are disturbing the peace by creating this chaotic mess that you have caused. Please keep all chaotic messes contained and behind closed doors. All will be well in the name of the Baron.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I put the bird in a pot or something?
No, absolutely not. Let it go.
Oh, but it would make such a nice hat.
Make a persuasion check.
Wait,
With disadvantage, because you're trying to convince him to make a raven a hat.
I'm fashionable. Persuasion is not great. It's a 6.
Please, release the raven.
Alright.
For all our sakes here. And then, sort of like, move along, as they're like crowd dispersing here.
So as we're going to release the raven, I'd like to mark the raven to see if we can keep track of it.
Sure.
So, Nora, do you want to change? How long does your color changing trick last?
Oh, I can.
Or do you have any paint or makeup, Jennifer, that we could put on it quickly?
I do. If the guard will permit me to
Quickly do it. So
I'll
talk with the guard.
Hang on. So just to clarify, you have not moved the raven an inch.
Okay.
You have grasped it at the top of the roof.
I thought she brought
It's
it too.
20 feet. It's 25 feet above you guys.
Okay.
So it's not within arm's reach whatsoever.
Yeah, I can't even touch
So
it. I have
if
to
you
okay.
would like, you can attempt to do it, but he is strong. He is like asking you to let it go.
No.
So remember that your mage hand isn't invisible too. It's visible as a
I didn't know
skeletal
that.
hand.
I didn't
So
know
this guy's seeing you conjure a skeletal hand grasping a raven.
Yeah, I didn't know magic was bad.
Well, it is probably a good idea if we just get inside.
I'll set the raven down back on the roof gently and try to give it a little pat.
Immediately, it like hops away and flies off.
Oh, that's bad. That's not gonna bite me in the ass later. Worth a shot.
It was a good idea. Good idea. Maybe we need to be a little more sneaky on how we're engaging these kinds
I
of things
guess.
from the
Or
alley
like-
or something.
They're really not that fun in this town.
No.
Well, that was an interesting turn of events. I did not expect you to take such drastic action over this raven. Perhaps some more covert attempts, as your friend is suggesting, might be warranted next time. But I do like that you were quick on the draw. It seems that they are a little bit bowstring happy here. So maybe we ought to keep things under wraps. There are only so many ways that I can use my diplomatic card to play.
Yes, thank you, Irina. You really helped us out with that one. Nora would have been in some deep stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Nora. Only Nora.
Not me.
All right. So Daring will
One villager who looks a little bit intoxicated just goes, "Bravo!
I'll bow.
Bravo! Give them what they deserve," and he kind of trundles off.
So Daring will kick open the door to the inn and sort of go on in.
Okay.
Did that guard look like he has a station?
As a station, you mean like a specific
The first one
Sergeant
that
or
talked to me.
lieutenant.
No. So what are you? The first guard that you're talking, yeah. Does it look like what? That he has a station.
That
What do you
he's
mean?
still,
Like
is
he's
he still there?
No, he was on patrol, and he wandered off after things were settled,
Yeah.
sort of,
Dated.
Oh god.
as things were going. So, team enters the inn. So
I'm gonna
inside, sorry.
just want to like nudge Jennifer and be like, thanks, man.
Yeah, run. Excellent distraction.
That was fun.
We should do this again.
I have an idea later.
Okay.
Remind me.
So inside the inn, you get into a space where you see damp cloaks hanging from pegs at the entrance. It's mostly wood with framed stone around the edges, wood floors and furniture. And the table, there's a table, the barroom space is packed with chairs and tables, sort of narrow spaces to wind in between. A long bar stretches against one wall, with a balcony reachable by wooden stairs that hangs above the bar space. Another balcony across from that one hangs on the eastern side of the bar. All the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars, which is something you take note of, not something you're used to in many taverns and inns, with lanterns that hang above the bar and resting on the table that's bathed the space in a sort of orange light, kind of dingy, but still otherwise welcoming, despite the hour and the encounter you've just had. Many wolf heads are mounted on plaques above the upper walls. And for all this, it's got a rather welcoming respite and rather certainly a cozier space than previous locales that you've visited here in Barovia. A solid-seeming man tends the bar, with an impressive salt and pepper beard and scar along one side of his face. His grizzled appearance sets him apart from the other individual behind the bar. A lady of rather solid posture, with midnight hair and an attentive expression, who sort of glances at you and has her gaze linger for a moment before dropping back to the till. Looks like she's counting finances. Other individuals in the bar include a man. The man who is at the bar darts behind to the kitchen via a swinging half door, and looks like he's tending to some lovely smelling food. You hear sort of the rattle hiss of some things hitting the grill or an iron pan, and he looks like he's pulling some drinks as well. He's got a good routine moving around and tending to the various patrons here. You see another ragged frontiersman, one who looks much like the other man, the bald man who gave you directions to the inn, except this guy has a longer, sort of a scruffy, unshaven look to him rather than a thick beard. He's got long hair kind of down to his collarbone, black, also with a bow leaning against his chair. Two similar-looking young men sit at a separate table in their 20s. They're sort of visibly in their cups already and are listening to another patron. This is a tall and young, lean-looking man bearing a lute and dressed in a riot of flashing colors: burgundy, orange, pink, maroon. He is currently completely butchering a tune that apparently accompanies his tale. Then the great wizard cast blazing pine cones at the vicious, huge wolves that harried his companions. The dwarves and halflings all clung desperately to the trees and the tall pines as they awaited their resolution, the eagles coming their way. So you're hearing him continue his tale as you take in these various individuals. So, what is everyone doing?
Fairly walked straight up to the bar. What kind of drinks you got?
Mostly we do wines here. We do wines of various kind. I do a cup of the old purple grape mash, or we can do some Red Dragon Crush for you. What'll it be?
How much is the Red Dragon Crush?
For a pint of that, it'll be 1 silver piece.
Oh, please give it to me.
Oh, here you are. You look like you've come a long way. Is there something I can get you in particular? Some food of some kind? Might be able to wrangle your deal, perhaps even a little bit of a free accommodation or something. New deal for new guests sort of thing. And immediately the lady to his one side says, now, Erwin, we are a business after all. Maybe not a total free ride, but we can negotiate a deal for new patrons. Why don't we all pull up a chair and have a, what'll it be? Can I take each of your orders?
That would sound great. Thank you for being so hospitable.
Yes, I am Danica, and this is my husband, Erwin. We are the of the Martikov family. There was quite a ruckus outside. Is everything okay? I heard some cawing and raised voices.
Yeah, Danica, I'm sorry. I'm Jennifer. That was me. There's a flock of ravens that was on the top of your roof.
Oh
there.
yes, lovely creatures. We're so happy to have them here.
Oh, I made a grave mistake and tried to catch one, and I think now...
Oh no, goodness, you did not.
I did.
Oh, what have you done with it?
Oh, I let it go. I tried to give it a little pat.
Oh, good. At least that. Goodness. Well, I hope no ill luck follows you for it. In the meantime,
Might be
though,
much worse.
and you've noticed that both her and Erwin's expressions darken as they look at you, hearing what you've done. Well, no matter. Perhaps a good bit of coin might be able to smooth things over. We have a bit of way with birds, my husband and I, so we might be able to prevent any...
Oh, put a good word in for me?
Something like that. Something like
For
that.
gold?
Inside check.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
He's a hustler. I like it.
That's a 19. Yeah, 19.
19? So as you can tell, she's telling the perfect truth.
Can I walk up and essentially just... Do you ever recall seeing a raven with blue tips on their wings?
I have seen many ravens in my day. Erwin, have you seen a blue-winged raven before? And Erwin kind of darts his eyes to one side and looks. Might have done. Seen a lot of ravens. You know, they come and go. I got something back on the bar. We do wolf steaks here. You guys having wolf steaks? They're 1 electrum each.
An electrum is
Half gold.
Half a gold. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So that'd be 5 silver
Well,
if you pay in silver.
we plan on staying here at least for a couple days to rest. We have some business in town and hope to receive some healing, and he sort of Darian gestures to his legs, and also follow up with some business. So we were hoping we might be able to get some sort of a group rate for both lodging and food for the next couple days. What might we offer? What might we offer?
Right. Son, it's not really my place to say this, but that looks a little beyond healing, if I have to say. That looks like you might have to accept your new lifestyle a little bit. But as far as a group deal, lady, I believe you did not introduce yourself. Any kind of gestures to Irina, who steps forward. She says, "Yes, I am Irina Kuljonovich. I am here, hoping to seek accommodation and perhaps asylum here in." And he says, "Asylum? What are you running from?" And she whispers, "The devil himself." Well, quite a troubled individual, that one. Perhaps there is hope for him yet, but in any case, you will be safe here. And
She's the Burgomaster's daughter, by the way, of Barovia. She's here on important business, and we need a place to stay while she's
okay, make a persuasion check.
While he's doing that, I'll slip 2 silver pieces to Danica, 1 for the drink and 1 for the birds.
Okay, she pours a red dragon crush and hands it over to you. Good call, and swipes the coins off the bar with a brief whisk. And she says, "Best enjoy the red dragon crush while it lasts. Supplies are dwindling." Erwin seems a little miffed that you interrupted him, and is not at all taken with your dealings deal.
Okay.
Well, why don't you talk to my wife here? She handles the finances after all. Yes,
Great.
perhaps we can arrange something for each of you. Perhaps rooms and a steak, drinks all around for a 7 gold price. That should be more than reasonable, I think.
for 1 night, you're saying.
Yes, that is 1 night.
How long do we plan on the business taking? Irina,
We can offer the same to each of you for 7 gold a night for the first night, and then we'll talk.
7 gold for the group or 7 gold each
7 gold for the group.
for the group? Well, given that we've traveled quite a long ways, we are tired. How many days do we think we're going to spend? We have to be mindful of our purse, obviously. What do you guys think?
Oh, there is that camp outside the city that I'm sure would be much more hospitable for a much lower rate. Maybe we'll stay here 1 night, and we'll see where our adventures take us. We might want to hit them up.
Okay. But at least for the moment, everyone
Yeah.
sound good to spend 7 of the gold?
Yeah.
Just to keep in mind, we have 18 gold.
Yeah.
So that's 7 of our 18.
We deserve it.
So I do want to travel around a bit. It's kind of what I did before coming here. So how many of us are there? 6.
6 including Irina.
6.
And a
Okay.
dog.
And a
You
moth.
pay premium for the dog
And a-
hotel rooms.
Doesn't seem like a terrible deal.
How, like 5 electrum for a meal? Or not 5 electrum, an electrum for a meal?
Yeah, that seems
That seems a
fine.
little, all this seems a little high. Is that,
Are those standard
Are you
rates?
I'm trying to figure
trying to
out.
figure if they're like cheating you or driving up the prices?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make a insight check.
That's a single digit. That's an 11.
Times do seem tough, and you did hear that comment about dwindling supplies. Perhaps they're trying to make up for it.
Okay.
So that might be a little steep for us, but we're not eons apart. If we perhaps worked in your inn for an hour or two, could we help reduce some of the cost? Times are hard for you. They're hard on travelers just as much, but we're willing to help each other if you're willing to work with us.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm quite the barmaid.
I'm going to call this your last persuasion
My
check
last
too, because you
persuasion.
made more than 2, and I
Ooh,
usually limit it at 2.
21.
Perhaps I can look if it were up to my wife's in charge of finances. I'd be happy to give you a discount
Okay.
for further deals, but why don't you sit and enjoy? Don't make us bad hosts. Enjoy our food, enjoy our drink. Maybe if you wash some dishes for me. I mean, I do have 2 boys who usually take care of that sort of stuff, but Could knock maybe a gold off the price for you, but I'm not going to make the final
Save
say.
a gold. Perfect. Thank you, kind sir. Appreciate you trying to help out
Whatever.
weary travelers.
And Danica looks over to him and gives him a swat, what? This was already a deal. Stop giving them even more. Oh yeah, yes. Well, how have you found your stay in Vallaki so far? And she's kind of pouring drinks all around. And are you looking forward to the festival?
I can't say that I am. They don't seem like the friendliest kind of folk around here.
Yes, there is a mixed few. That is for sure. There is a mixed few.
In a mandatory festival, that seems a little strange. I don't like any kind of mandatory events. I don't like being told what to do, frankly.
This is a sentiment I can agree with. I am certain that there are many things. I'm a little troubled by your bold nature, as it seems to have steered you quite well with the birds. But I will say that there is a and it kind of seems like she knows a little bit more about what happened outside than what she's letting on. But the Baron is a forceful man. That much is for sure. But enjoy. Feel free
Are the
to.
festivals even fun?
That is not the word I would use.
What word would you use?
We prefer to keep our heads down here. We run an inn, and Erwin is a very liked man. He is the best cook in, some say, in all of Barovia. We have the wine. That's what little we have left.
Danica, that's several words.
Well, there is much to say and not say, and I have said my piece.
What goes on in the festival? What sort of activities?
Should we come to expect?
That depends on the festival, and depends on the cooperation of the attendees, I would say. Do you do gifting customs where you are from? Have you given any gifts to the lord of this land?
Irina.
These folk are not from here, and Danica says, why yes, I can see that. Quite plainly, that is why I asked. I know that you know of our customs, Irina, and it is a pleasure to have you here. But for the rest of you...
For the rest of us, what?
Have you given a gift to the lord of this land?
Did he give me a gift? Is it his birthday?
We've only just arrived into town, and the
No,
Baron,
not the
you
Baron,
see-
I mean.
Oh,
The lord of the Barovian land in general.
Oh,
you mean Mr. S?
I do not think you should get very far calling him that.
What should we refer to him as?
The devil, as we refer to him here.
You give gifts to the devil?
I did not ask that. I did not say that. I asked if you
We
did.
helped clear a haunted house on the edge of town, and he sent us a letter thanking us. So
That's our gift.
that's our gift.
Interesting. Very well. Well, enjoy your drinks, and let me know if you have any further questions or things that you need attending to. But in the meantime, you can enjoy, and you hear sort of the clang, 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 clang of the colorfully dressed guy who can't play to save his life, accompanying his tale with further ministrations. He says, and then the dwarves, they tapped on the side of the mountain, and the halfling stole into the dragon's chamber and talked to him with a clever tongue, stealing a riddle, and stealing with his riddling tongues the stone that they all came there for. And the two kind of drunken looking, and you guess that they are brothers, are like, no way, man, that's amazing! No way that he caught him with the riddle, and oh man, that's so cool! What happened next? And the guy continues his tale.
Oh god, I don't want to listen to this.
Gonna need another drink, I think, if we're.
So, what else do we want to do here?
Darren?
We've,
What
Well-
else do we want to do here?
I'd love to talk with the innkeepers a little more and try and find a healer of sorts who can help me out. We also do need to decide if we're going to stay here and secure lodging. And then some of us should probably look at supplies and selling what we've got, and then start beginning to investigate the city a little more.
Yeah.
So this might be a good spot to start separating, since we have some various tasks and things we could each undertake.
Do you guys feel
I do not
comfortable
know.
separating?
I do not know if a separation is such a good idea until we have secured safety. Perhaps I would prefer to reach the church myself before we separated myself. But we can.
Well, we
decide
know
what to do.
Nora isn't allowed to leave the inn for a little bit, under the direction of the guard. So perhaps, we.
Like,
J-
kick the wood on
I
the
mean,
chair.
you and I could go.
Like, oh,
Irina, perhaps you and I, we could go look for the chapel or the temple at whatever this town may have.
Yes, there will be a church. I believe it is a church to a famous saint, if I'm not mistaken, the Saint of Andrel.
And I know Aragol had asked us to get the toy, so perhaps that might be the task that we can undertake.
yeah, I could go do that. We passed it on the way here.
We
Yep.
also have to go birthday gift shopping for the.
Yeah.
I guess we can't really get Strahd a birthday gift.
And
Never mind. He probably
and-
won't like that.
And we have several things that need to be sold. We have golden rings and platinum necklaces, and Darian is pulling out his stuff and showing
Don't put
the
it
group and
away.
letting you
We're
guys
in a
know.
public
And
place.
he's sort of reminding
Immediately, all four of the patrons of the bar look over at you,
Okay.
flashing all of that money.
Okay.
And the flashy guy telling the story kind of bling, clang, 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 kind of jostles his way over to you and says, "Ahoy! Welcome, travelers, new friends. So much shine that you have to your eye and to your hand. Perhaps there is a story that I can tell you. I am Rictavio. Is there a particular story or tale here? I know all of the runnings-ons, the gossips, the things to be told. Come, join us, my friends here, Nikolai and Carl. They were enjoying a good tale. Is there something, a request, a song, something that I can do for you to earn a little bit of your patronage, my good man?"
You could start by telling us the story about the bard who learned how to tune his lute.
Ah, my lady, it is in tune. Simply, I do not have the skill to play it. They say that only the true, soulful individuals can play music here in Barovia, and I clearly do not lack a soul. So perhaps that rumor has no bearing on this conversation. In any case, I would simply say that I am here at your service. And he kind of gives a flamboyant bow, and he's got like a very floppy hat with a big, long, like peacock feather that he kind of tips and keeps on his head as he bows. And he says, "So, come. I see that you already have drinks, but you're draining them so quickly. Is there another drink that I can get you? Certainly, it will be my pleasure."
So while you're talking with him, Darian's going to try and escape and go talk with the bar guys.
No, he's like talking to you
Okay.
specifically.
So not at this time. Perhaps this evening. We need some help from the bartender to get directions around and do some work before.
Oh, please allow me. I am your humble servant, my friend. My
I wouldn't
humble
want to
servant.
interrupt your
Are you
lovely
staying?
playing.
Are you staying the night here and the Blue Water Inn?
We are making plans to.
Oh, excellent! I am as well. Perhaps we can rendezvous at some point this evening. There is, I'm sure, much that we can trade of tales. But my dear man, and he kind of slides his way kind of in front of you on the bar a little bit. Come. There's something that can be said, something that can be done for you. I know the rundown of the town. Leave the Martikovs. They are so hardworking people, such good folk, and good with birds too. But if you are interested in a tale, let me spin one for you, or perhaps some goings-on of the town. These I can share as well.
Perhaps when there are more patrons visiting, I would want you to have a proper audience before you played your hearts out.
Oh no!
So,
Do not worry. I do not need
thank
to.
you for your
I do not
interest.
need to play to
And
accompany
he's sort of very
It's
much
part of the
fully
charm
aware,
of
fully
the deal. Do not worry. Do not worry. I have many legendary stories of figures. Perhaps you like
So
good
Darian's
folk
just going to get up and
tales.
go talk with the innkeeper.
Not a fan of folk tales, but come back, my good man. We have tales of the legendary Van Richten, the legendary individuals of the world here, the great stories of the Mad Mage. Come.
He's like, he's not even interested in all of this.
Yes, my dear lady. I love your mask.
Thank you.
It's quite stylish.
Thank you. How about a deal?
I love a deal.
We're busy at the moment,
Excellent.
but we'll be back tonight,
Splendid.
and maybe just a special just for you, just for a handsome lad like yourself. I could maybe give you a lute playing lesson. And you can tell me all the hot goss that's going on in the city.
Oh, lady after my own heart! This is splendid! So wonderful to meet you. You said your name was Jennifer, my lady.
Did I?
I believe I heard you say to the gentleman over there at the bar. I have keen ears, you see.
It is. You may know me better as Euphemia.
Euphemia! It is my pleasure you shall henceforth be known. Well, let it not be said that Victavio will leave a lady waiting in the evening. I will be happy to accompany you through this lesson and for the hot goss, did you say?
Yes.
What a time. Such a charm, such a charm. And he kind of turns back to the brothers who are sort of like, hey man, what gives? We were paying for the story!
What's Cledu and Mary Lou doing at this point?
Can you please, prevent me from killing that guy?
Why would I stop you from doing that?
Oh, it's nice to have an appreciative audience!
I think you should scooch on
He says
over
this from like the far side of the room.
with all that charm. I don't trust charming people.
I don't blame ya.
I don't trust you.
So, Darian, we're gonna have to work on your street smarts here because you don't have any.
What
But
was that stunt with the
He's
jewelry?
moving up towards the bar. He's not listening to you. He's gonna go talk with the keeper.
Did he lose his sense
He got
when
up and he
lost his
left.
foot?
do you have any to begin with?
I mean, we didn't know him that long before that.
True. You're no longer without a foot than with a foot.
Yeah.
So what do we think about splitting up? Do we want to do that or?
I mean, I don't trust you to go unsupervised right now.
Oh,
I mean, apparently I'm in timeout.
I mean, also, how's your moth? Is it dead?
oh. I'm gonna.
That's not in the middle of the bar.
later.
I love you guys.
Shake it. Jennifer, shake it.
No, I don't want to move.
No. Stop.
Keep it
Stop.
closed.
Okay, you're in timeout. Quiet.
Perhaps what is best is if the two of you, and perhaps one other, stay here and get the run of the inn. We will be back to speak to Colorful Loudman, and the rest of you, Darian and I, maybe can go to the church. Cledu, if you would like to accompany us as a fellow churchman yourself.
Churchman, sure.
Or perhaps if you would like to be our envoy to the shops and to visit this Blinsky's store, or perhaps the other things. I myself need some crossbow. We could make a list and give you the money. You seem like a responsible man.
Okay, bye.
If you have a better thought, do not let me paint you into a story.
no.
I am.
What?
If you are going to Blinsky's, I might toss in a couple extra gold for the kiddos we brought to the orphanage. I think they could use something nice.
Yes, thank you for mentioning. I would very much like to visit them at some point today. And I think, Nora, if I'm not mistaken, the guards will come calling this evening to interview you. That does not mean you have to stay here. This whole time.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm gonna start walking towards the door already.
Oh, my lady! My lady of the bright green eyes! How familiar you look! Ah, such beauty that comes to this land.
Stop it! Stop it!
Oh, but I was just going to cast similar compliments among to you. Such a strong lady who could defeat such a strong warrior in battle. The scarred arms betray your nature. You are someone of strength, someone to trust in the battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, I could defeat anyone, monsters, fast-talking bad bards, there's a whole list.
Oh, I mean, well, let's not get too hasty here. Well, I am simply happy to accommodate new travelers. People do not find it so welcoming here at the gate. I am trying to rectify that.
Going a little too far the other way.
Well, it's, perhaps it will balance altogether.
I don't think so.
Well, I will see you in the evening.
So Darian can ask the innkeepers for directions to the church.
Oh, yes, of course, the church. It is, let's see, it was not far from, it is more on the western side of, town. Not quite as far as the orphanage, but you will see it when you see it. That is for sure.
Okay, great, thank you. And he slides a copper across the table for the
My
information. And then he comes back to Irene and says, I found the church. Who's coming with us?
Noah's already out the door.
Certainly I am coming.
maybe grab Nora on your way.
Claude, are you with us?
Do you want to come
I
with?
mean,
Or do you wanna go
I'm
do something
interested to see what they got going on there at their church.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
great.
could go shopping.
We could go shopping.
Yeah, we should. And Mary Lou will kind of hook her arm and then hold it.
Feels oblivious.
He's like shopping mini.
Okay, you guys go on a
Buddies.
romp on town. There it is. Okay, so you guys are heading back to the entrance area where you guys found the cart and the various shops that were nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lenskis, and then we shop for supplies.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing Blinsky's first.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
before we split, if you're gonna be buying presents for the three we saw at the mill.
Did you want a toy too?
No, but maybe think of the other orphans there.
Oh,
Only
shit.
3 of them are getting them. The rest of them are going to be really upset. Also, maybe take it from them. You know, kids
Yeah.
being kids.
Maybe we could see maybe something like candy or something that.
Oh, here. Well, perhaps. And she digs in. Irina digs in her purse and pulls out 10 electrum and hands it to you guys.
Oh.
So it's 5 more gold.
Well,
Yeah, 5 more gold for them to use.
And then I'll grab out 2 of my gold and pass it over.
Anyone else? Want
Okay,
to
so
give me
let's pause here for a second. I have a list of all the stuff that we can sell. Can I just give that to them so that they can look at it and use? And
Sure.
is that the easiest way?
Yeah.
So Megan, if you're gonna go and do the gold stuff, let's do this. Let me just give this to you. Oops.
There is a jewelry box that I got from the haunted house.
And I think it had
Is
the.
that still like intact?
The jewelry box from the house.
Yeah.
It had 3 golden rings and a platinum necklace.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that still like that
You-
hasn't like
Are
decayed
you pulling
or
it
got
out to
moldy?
check?
Yeah.
we'll find out.
Yeah, it looks pretty decrepit.
So is
Even the
all the
jewelry
rings
too?
and things gone?
You open it, and they look tarnished and worn with age. You could still get some value for them, but they're probably not nearly as valuable as they were when you found them.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, so
Darian, go ahead and make a perception check.
The only thing. Okay. 15.
Okay.
The only thing that we didn't get from the house, besides the gold, was the 3 containers, the youth, laughter, and mother's milk, and the 6 pieces of jewelry, of cheap jewelry. So those are the only things otherwise. But the rest of this list, there's gold, silver, platinum. You just take it, and then there's the list of items, so you can use that to barter.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Did you get
And
my
then,
tool?
so we're splitting up.
Yeah, right
Okay.
down.
Nora,
Both
you're coming with
5
us?
From Rena.
Sure.
Okay, so we're grabbing Nora on the way out because we heard from the team that she needs a chaperone. Claude, you're gonna go
I'm
where?
going with.
You're coming with 2. Okay, so the 4 of us and the 2 of you.
So the 4 of you are heading. The 3 of you plus Irina are heading west, to the
Heading
edge of
to
the
the church.
town to get to
Right.
the church, and the other 2 of you are heading more back easterly, down the way you came to get to Blinsky's and the main
Perfect.
entryway with the shops. Okay, so as you guys are splitting up, we'll take this team first. The 2 guys go into Blinsky's and with that. Not too far off, you're noticing there's a lot of wrestling rustle amidst the corvids up top, on the top of the inn. Sort of. And you feel a wet along your neck kind of space, and the blue-winged raven lands right in front of you on the ground and goes, "Jerk! Jerk!"
I could say
Jerk.
the same thing about you.
And
You're
then
a
flies
jerk.
away.
Gosh, I'll use prestidigitation to get rid of the poop. Rude.
Quit
I
following
mean-
us.
In fairness to the Raven, you did hold it in your weird magic skelly hand.
Okay, yes, that is weird. I agree. It hasn't always been like that. This is a new feature. However, why is he following us?
I mean, I don't know a whole bunch about birds, but
Point of
whenever-
order. Sorry to interrupt you. It sounded like a female voice.
Alright.
I don't know a whole bunch about birds, but again, you just capture it in a big, weird skeleton hand. It might be angry.
I know,
This
you're
will be-
right.
I always am.
I'll turn back and yell at the ravens. I'm sorry I caught you in my skeleton hand.
Thanks!
And do ravens talk? I don't think I know.
about ravens?
I'm really an animal
We'll have to ask
person.
Danica when we get back tonight.
Okay, so you guys head along, and you head to Blinsky's shop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta switch back and forth. There's quite a few things. So, just past the town square, again, you sort of hear some like, yaw, and some like, oh, noises coming from the town square. But you press on without worrying too much about it, and come to a space, cramped shop, sort of a dark entrance portico, above which hangs a sign shaped like a rocking horse with a B engraved on both sides. And flanking the entrance are two arched lead-framed windows. Through the glass, you can see a jumbled display of toys and placards proclaiming, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky." So that's what you're seeing. You guys going on, man?
Through the windows, can we see if there's any shoppers in there?
You don't see any shoppers, but you do see a sort of portly-looking man who is playing with or feeding a small white-faced brown monkey on the counter there. The guy is wearing, he's sort of heavy-set, sort of brownish beard and hair, wearing a jester's cap and motley of purple and green.
Oh, he looks like a character. You ready to go in?
Yeah.
So you open, and you see many shelves and little wooden chests open and displaying numerous strange-looking toys. Behind the counters, you see the man feeding his little chittering companion, and he sort of looks up excitedly at you two as you guys open. Welcome, friends, to the house of Blinsky, where happiness and smiles can be bought at bargain prices. Perhaps you know of a little child in need of joy? A little toy for a girl or boy?
Do we have the pleasure of talking to Mr. Blinsky?
Yes, that is me. I am he. I am named Gadolf Blinsky.
Well, Mr. Blinsky, today is your lucky day. We're looking to place a very large order.
A very large order. That is good. Not many like me or my toys here. So that is good. Come, see what I have. If you would be so kind, look at what there is to buy.
We would love to.
Yeah.
And he's kind of also sort of shushing away the little monkey who's and chitters off. The man from far away gave me Piccolo here and bought a doll for it. A doll like these are the toys, and he kind of shows the various toys. And he's pulling them out. He's like, "Oh, and I have these," and he like takes them all apart and shows you. So
wow.
the first is a headless doll with a sack of attachments, including one with its eyes and mouth stitched shut. The next is a miniature gallows with a trap door and a weighted hanged man. The next is a set of wooden nesting dolls, and you sort of takes them all apart and lays them out on the table. Each doll looks older than the last, with the last one as a mummy.
That's so cool. That is pretty.
These three are 9 copper, as is this one. And he pulls out a wood and string mobile of hanging bats with flapping wings, and he kind of raises it, and they sort of
Wow.
again 9 copper. And then he goes and winds up a musical merry-go-round with figures of wolves chasing children instead of prancing horses. It is so exciting to have customers. 9 silver for this, and this, and it's a ventriloquist's dummy that looks like a pale-skinned nobleman with dark hair and dressed in rich, dark reds and blacks. Then you see something that takes you back. Takes you aback a little bit, and it's a doll that looks remarkably like Irina Koyana, like scarily close to what she looks like. And these are the scarcest of my toys. They are for 9 gold. But while you are here, there are many things I could be asking of. There is a master of toys and inventions that I learned from Fritz von Werk. His greatest invention, a clockwork man, lives somewhere in Castle Ravenloft. if you would be so kind to find the clockwork masterpiece and deliver it to me, I can make any toy you desire. Even perhaps my new friend here, as reward. Business has not been good.
Your new friend Piccolo?
Yes.
But that's your pet, isn't it?
Well, I only just got him. The man from far away give me Piccolo and bought a doll for exchange.
What sort of doll did he buy for Piccolo? Was it like, and she'll point at the one that looks scarily like Arena?
Yes. And you notice there's like 4 of them. Yes, each one looks more detailed than the last.
They all over.
Of Irina.
Okay.
Yes, he bought one of here a little while ago.
That seems to be, those dolls are real detailed. Any like particular model or reason they're not like all different?
The captain of the guard, a scary fighter and man, he asks for one every month, with more details each time.
Okay.
Interesting. And you made these? You made them?
Yes, I did. I have good listening ears.
Yeah.
That helps when you're a toy maker.
Yes, he tell me a description and I listen carefully and create.
What kind of description did he tell you?
You see before you my masterpiece of description.
So I'm gonna like go behind Mary Lou and just like look at some toys, but kind of use Mary Lou as a shield so that I can cast detect magic. I'm not sure if it has a hand component.
I'm pretty sure it has a somatic gesture
Okay.
involved to it.
And I'll also
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check to see if you're able to do it unnoticed.
Sure. I'd also like to spend 1 meta magic to make it a subtle spell.
Okay, which means what?
It means that it's either quiet or
Sorry, I'm not as familiar with the sorcerer.
without somatic or verbal component.
Oh, okay, so you can do it without either of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you can do it and you don't have to roll, you can just do it.
Okay.
Yeah, you cast detect magic. Nothing is overtly magical within the space, as far as you're able to tell. They look like just normal toys, albeit somewhat creepy ones.
And then Mary Lou will hear a voice in her head that's obviously Jennifer. Like, they're really creepy, but they're all mundane. So I'm going to cast message.
Should have turn around and look at Jennifer.
Jennifer's looking at a toy on a shelf, and like we'll get eye contact and look back at the toy.
So, you are buying?
Thinking maybe Jennifer, maybe the nesting dolls for Marigold's niece?
Yeah, do you know how many kids are at the orphanage, Linsky?
The orphanage? I
Yeah.
do not know. It has been many a year since I have lived there.
Oh. How many kids were there when you were there?
A good few, perhaps a dozen.
Could maybe get like one big toy they could share?
Do you know children?
I mean, he doesn't have like, like little horsey dolls or any like normal things.
It's true.
We could get the kids, they really liked Arena. I mean, we could get them.
I've got an idea. Linsky,
Yes?
if we were to buy, maybe do you have like $1 bin, well, a copper bin, or like a discount?
These ones are 9 copper each. And he gestures to the headless doll with the multi-head attachments, the hanged man gallows guy, the nesting dolls, and the mobile of bats.
If we were to buy all of those, or excuse me, if we were to buy one of your 9 gold piece dolls, would you be willing to throw in maybe one of each of these? We have a lot of kids to provide with toys for.
Maybe, but the business is not good. Could you add a silver?
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. So,
Then you have a dime.
okay, so 9 gold and 1 silver for the doll and one of each of the other ones.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we didn't get what's his thing. He'll get one of the other things. The Vistani guy.
Yeah. So if we have doll of arena,
Yeah.
we have the headless doll.
And he quickly like starts packaging them in like brown wrapping paper for you.
The nest and doll. That'll give us 4 things.
5 things, right? You've got the bat, the gallows, the nesting doll, and the headless thing, and then the one of Irina.
Yeah. So
You
that
got
should
5.
be it.
And we can just show Irina the doll, and then we can give the doll to the Vistani guy.
Or you could give it to the kiddos.
Whichever one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not particularly picky on which creepy toys goes to which adorable child.
Are you going to the festival? I might see you there.
You might. Oh, let's see. This might not be a toy, but I have a request for you. I need a small cage about this big.
I can work on it. Supply is low. General store might have as well.
Oh, okay.
Look for. Let me get the name. That is the Arasek Stockyard. But if you put in request, I can do special order. This would be perhaps materials and 5 gold.
Okay, good to know.
And give dimensions and 1 die.
Dimensions in 1 day. And do you have like a rewards program that maybe I can get some points because of this big purchase today that I can use for?
Well, yes, I am so glad you ask. I just thought of this yesterday. A punch card for you.
Oh!
And it shows a bunch of little doll faces with like X'd out eyes as the punch card.
How lovely!
Wait, let me punch it.
Oh my god.
And he takes his finger and just goes, and the little thing just flitters to the ground. This, if you get to 10 punches, you get free toy.
How many punches did I earn today?
We will say you get 2. Come back again.
Thank you. I am so sorry I've taken so much time to talk about this discount program. Thanks, Minsky.
Of course. Bye now.
Ah.
All right, picking up with the other part of the team.
Okay.
You guys
Go
go over to
ahead,
the church.
I hope you're ready to justify spending more than half the team's gold on toys, but
I mean, we had 5 from Marina, 2 from Nora, and Mary Lou was going to throw in 2.
You got 5 electrum. You got 10 electrum, not
Electrum.
5.
Yeah.
5 gold. Yeah.
So 5 gold, 2 gold. Mary Lou will throw in 2 of her own gold. And we'll steal the silver from the team.
We got toys. They're
we got
cool.
toys.
They're really cool toys.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you gonna remove the mummy?
No,
No.
I'm tempted.
So passing the inn, you guys see a large and sort of austere mansion on the sort of southern end of town, across the way, mixed in with some richer-looking buildings. But you carry on, and quite quickly you're able to spot the inn. Again, Nora's drawing a lot of glances. You see the
church,
guy.
you mean.
Yes, the church. Again, Nora's drawing a lot of glances. You see the guy with the greatsword strapped to his back, make a couple passes as he sees her, and kind of keeping an eye, and like leaning over to his like patrol buddy and like whispering something. But you eventually make it to the church. Let me head over to that section in the notes. I don't know why these got so jumbled when I printed them.
Do you want me to move the fan to be in the corner there?
No. No, you're good.
So, this slouching centuries-old stone church stands in the one part of town and is bulging with a steeple. Its bulging steeple in the back. Its walls are lined with cracks, with stained glass windows depicting pious saints, a blazing sunrise, and a haloed man rebuking a shadowy figure at his doorway. The fence of wrought iron encloses a garden of gravestones next to the church, with mist creeping among them. Otherwise, there are 2 what look like strong oak doors that lead their way into the church.
Okay, great. We'll go and investigate.
All right, inside you head on in. It's an intact but well-worn-looking church, much larger than the small one that was in the Barovian village. There's an altar and podium with a sunrise carved into them and inlaid with bronze. Signs of numerous folk living here overnight are strewn across the church floor. blankets and beddings bulging from one closet. Lots of little candles and little private prayer setups along the walls, and various spaces set up for various individuals.
How many people? Dozens? Dozens of sleeping arrangements? Or?
So the blankets and bedding are bulging out of one closet.
Okay.
The little prayer spaces, you catch there's probably about 6 or 7 that you see.
Okay.
But you're not sure how many that covers.
Okay.
4 occupants stand out to you here, and really are the main ones who are here at this time. A few other ones are praying. There's at least 2. There's like a family of 3 praying at one of the smaller altars. There's an old man in robes, kind of sunken looking, bald, older looking guy. He's talking in what appear to be soothing tones from a frightened looking woman. There's a muscular looking, dark haired young man, not yet 20 perhaps by your eye, who's sort of lurking in the back, and a young altar boy ferrying things back and forth for the man speaking. You guys head on in?
Anyone do anything before we introduce ourselves?
No,
Alright.
we're going to get going with this.
We'll walk forward and we'll introduce ourselves and say hello when it seems appropriate to join the conversation, since she seems to be comforting someone there.
Yeah, you kind of catch as you're approaching here. There, Wilhelmina. We will seek to make sure that we get a good resolution here. Perhaps if the Blazing Sun Festival goes well, I can ask for the Baron's forgiveness. We will see to Udo. Do not worry. And he kind of comforts her and nods to the darker-haired young man who kind of escorts her off to one of his side little sections. Hello, yes, welcome here. Come. What are your names? I am Father Lucian Pietrovic. And who might you be called?
I'm Darian, and he introduces Nora, Cladu, and Irina as well, and he mentions that Irina is...
It is good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. And she says, oh, yes, Father. It is a good thing now that we are here. This is still holy ground, yes? And he says, yes. The bones of St. Andrew keep this place consecrated in the name of His Holiness, and, of course, in the great morning Lord. The light shines through all of us brightest here, and the darkness cannot touch. You will be safe here. And he kind of grasps at her hands. Stay the night. It will be safe.
Does she appear to know him?
Yes, it's clear that they know each other.
They know each other, okay. So good, so, well... With my father, look, we've come a long way. We've traveled through obvious hardships, and we're hoping to both help the people here and also help Irina along her quest from Barovia, the town of Barovia. But as you may be noticing, I have suffered a grievous wound along my travels, and I'm hoping you might be able to offer some assistance. And he sort of gestures to his leg and to his foot.
Yes, well, perhaps I might be able to offer you some assistance, some prayers to bring out your inner light, to shine in on your injury and heal your hurt. But a regrowth of a limb is beyond my immediate skill. Perhaps if we gathered a few healers together, we might improve the situation. But I cannot promise you to regrow such a damage. However, do not abandon hope, young son. Take joy in that a great miracle has been recently performed by the abbot of St. Markovia in Kretsk. He brought a dead man back to life. Surely, for one who is capable of so much, the regrowth of a small limb would not be beyond him. So,
That sounds very positive. What more did you hear about that?
Not much more has reached my ear, as there has been strict bordering and harsh roads between the two villages for some time now. But still, I take courage in this good news.
So, Father, I happen to have reclaimed my foot. Is there anything you might be able to do to help ensure it survives until such a time as we can perform a rite on it? Is there any magical prayers or protection you can offer it? And he sort of pulls out the bundle that has whatever is left of his foot.
Sopping wet, dripping mess, just and it's squelching as you move it in front of him. And he sort of, oh goodness, whoa, my son. I have to say, I can heal injuries of the body when they are a part of you, but once such a damage has been done, the best I can do is stem the flow and ease your pain, not so much reattach or deal with
Putrefaction?
Yes, exactly. Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
It is not.
What would you suggest we do with my limb at this point? He sort of like
burn it, perhaps, son?
half crying. He's like, burn it?
Well, if the abbot performs his miracle for you, then he will not need the foot. A new one will be made for you in the name of the light within your own body. However, in the meantime, only putrefaction can come from carrying such a thing, and I shan't like to see disease be spread in my among my flock.
So he's sort of like upset and looking at his companions and like trying to get input from what they suggest he should do.
I mean, look, you're being offered a chance to burn part of your own body, and you're not going to die from it.
And so
You
he's
might as well take it.
It's the day. It's like, okay, fine. And he sort of looks away and he goes, take it before I change my mind, and he presents it to the father.
Milavage, come here quickly. And the dark-haired young man comes over and says, yes, father. Milavage, be a good lad, and take this and burn it, and don't bring even the fumes. And he kind of hands it over. Yes, father, all is not well here in Vallaki. And he kind of walks away with the squelching thing, and it's like dripping a path of gross-smelling liquid.
How old was this kid?
This guy's like 19.
Interns.
It is good for the lad. He is not known for his positive outlook, so I try and give him something new each day.
So, father, given that I have lost a limb and suffered great deeds,
My
in
dear
trying to
boy,
prevent
I have to say,
Vallaki,
you
can
are-
you offer me any praise, please?
Of course, I can offer you prayers. Of course. I'm not one to lecture, simply to pray in the name of the great morning Lord. But I would say we have all suffered wounds here and there, and he kind of gestures, and you see some of the people in the church have missing limbs, missing eyes. But of course, I shall join you in prayer. And he says, great morning Lord, I call upon you here. What was your name?
Derry.
Darian, your faithful servant, has come in a holy mission to your name to bring someone to safety here amidst your shelter. He has served you well, and we should honor him with his sacrifice of limb. Bless him if you can, aid him if you cannot, and give him a pat on the back and a nice smelling foot sometime later on, failing all else. And he kind of pats your brow, and he will cast aid to give you 5 temporary hit points.
Oh, nice. Okay. I have 5 temporary hit points.
It lasts for an hour.
Okay, great.
I'm going to use them.
Well, the rate you guys are going with the guard, you might need them.
Yeah, or the crows or anything else.
I'm sorry, it lasts 8 hours.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Hey.
So,
Bonus.
you know, when Jennifer gets arrested.
Oh yeah.
Well, in any case,
Thank
Irina,
you, Father.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you, Father.
Of
And
course.
he's going to give him 3 copper as well for his
Oh,
help.
thank you very much. Well, Irina, you are welcome to stay here. As for the rest of your friends, they are welcome to visit any time, but things are quite crowded here at the night. We are hosting quite a few these evenings. And
Is there anything we could do to help you?
at this time, alms, supplies, of course, would be excellent, but otherwise,
What kind of supplies are you most in need of?
blankets, food, those are the most, of course, that are important. Some small supply of wine, if there is to be had any, for different communal purposes. And of course, a few candles, other icons to use in prayer for those who are taking their time here. But for the moment, it is a very kind gesture for you. Thank you, sir. We are doing rather well. And of course, St. Andrew watches over us.
Anything you guys want to do at the church?
Can I shake his hand with the emblem on my arm? Like, with that hand, where it's
Okay.
visible, to see if he, like, notices anything?
Yeah, he definitely
Just
notices.
like, thank you.
Oh, you are a blessed follower of the Morning Lord as well. It is good to see such from faraway lands. His name reaches into us and his light shines within us all. Is that not what you have found?
I wish that's what I found.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that it has not been. Well, know that you are always welcome, and if your faith is ever shaken, you may join me in prayer.
Thank you.
Does his symbol seem to match Nora's symbol, or is
His
it
symbol
like the
seems a
other,
little
which was
older.
different?
It seems a little older, a little different, but it depicts the same thing of a sunrise.
Is it like the same one we saw in Irina's house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cluedo, anything you'd like to do here?
Not really. No, not really. Just, checking the lay of the land and see what's going on.
He looks over at Nora and says, well, I'm very sorry to hear that you have had a hard time in the name of the light, but if there's anything I can do to aid you, fellow child, let me know. I'm here to help.
Thank you.
Of course. It's my pleasure and my privilege.
Do you have any tips for going through this town at least?
I try not to get too involved. I am more of a earthy man trying to just help the people here. But the Baron is a stern man. And there are many troubling rumors about both him and about Lady Wachter, but I choose to give people the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise.
So Darian pipes up. and
Not
he
all, even the farthest in darkness, are not beyond redemption.
says, What have you heard about him? We may have to have dealings with him sometime in the future, and it would be helpful. Any insight you could give us?
I would suggest perhaps talking to someone more informed than my friend.
Who might that be?
The gentleman at the bar, he's a colorful bloke. He seems to know his way around town. As
Yes, I
do
think
the
we
bar.
met him.
Yes. Good, strong voice. Him and a few of the other folk who patron there might hear a few things. Certainly they talk, as is I'm sure known to you, and in his cups may talk. And of course, the bartender there, he and his wife hear many things. And Erwin, of course, is very well liked, generous soul and good cook. Better than me, anyway.
We had a strange experience with the ravens, and they seem to have some sort of affinity for them. Can you tell us anything about that? Do you know anything about that?
I know many folk consider the ravens to be of good luck here in Europe.
Do you know where that stemmed from?
Old history, I am sure. They say that in the time before the devil struck here, there were the three ladies who helped carry the land in the name of the Morning Lord. Perhaps this superstition stemmed from them.
And Father, one last thing before we go. We visited a windmill on our way here, and we noticed some shrine or holy site or some sort of temple behind it, where it depicted several different cities, or the same city in several different seasons. We were wondering if that was something connected to the Morning Lord or connected to any sort of religious organization you were aware of.
This is not to my knowledge, but there is much deep history here in Borovia. Some, though, who might know it further, could speak to it perhaps in greater knowledge.
Can we see if there's anything in the stained glass that seems to match any of that?
Not that you see.
depiction? Okay.
Most of it depicts a particular, like I said, a particular holy man rebuking an individual. He says, my knowledge is mostly around St. Andrew and his story. I am happy to recount it here if you would like, but I do not wish to preach if you are not wishing to hear.
You want to hear?
I have other questions, but up to you.
We'd love to hear it.
Ah, yes, it is an old tale. Once this church was not a church, but merely a house, a manor of a good man, a man who lived by his ideals, lived in the name of the Morning Lord. This man's name was Lord Andrew. Or rather, he was no lord, simply Andrew. And one day, a creature of darkness, though he may not be beyond redemption, has fallen quite far. He sought, as he did to many others, to charm, to worm his way into their home, to beguile and bedevil them. But Angel stood proudly at his door and rebuked the devil, telling him to go back to the shadow from whence he came, telling that he would not bend or break to the dark vicissitudes cast upon his mind. He would hold strong, and so he did, and the creature of darkness fled. From that point on, Andro lived in this house and devoted it as a shelter from the darkness. When he died, he insisted that he was buried here, in the graveyard. His bones became a holy relic that consecrated this site, and now not even the darkest servants can reach us here.
Well, thank you for sharing the story. So do you had other questions?
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Hello. Speaking of dark serpents.
I like your accent.
Oh, thanks. Right. So, have you heard about what happened to Donovich's son over in the town of Barovia?
Donovich and I have not spoken in many years. I know that he lost his son in the Wizard's Revolt many years ago, and he has not been seen since.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I think I'll leave it at that then. Thank you for your time, Father.
Very well. Thank you for visiting, and of course, come back anytime.
Oh, if you need any help with like funeral rites or something, I got you.
Yes, Milivoj sometimes does get tired of grave digging. Burley, I don't know. Perhaps you might be able to assist in that.
I'm an old hand. Yeah. Yep.
Excellent news. Well, be welcome here, brother. And he clearly recognizes you as someone of religious affiliation, even if you're not his religious affiliation. He seems pretty welcoming to you.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, great. I think we got what we wanted. Nora, anything else? Irina, anything you want to ask?
I am going to stay here. I would ask that you, well, I would like to look in on the orphans at least. So why don't we go visit them, and then I will remain here. I think that is best.
Okay.
If you feel safe enough,
Yeah. We're still willing to help you work out with the Baron when he comes calling, so please stay in touch. But
Of course,
let's
of
go
course.
together to at least visit the orphanage and meet with the rest of our party.
And at this, the little altar boy kind of comes running up and says, "I can be messenger. I take messengers for Father Lucian all the time. Maybe Irina can send me." And she says, "Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you so much. You're such a good lad. I'm sure you'll carry my messages so quickly." And he said, "Yes, I'm sure I will." And you kind of, as you walk away, you get the sense that that's probably how that'll take place.
Okay, great.
Alrighty. So you guys are heading over to the orphanage.
Yep.
We'll pick up with you guys here at the Arasek stockyard and other areas of the shops there at the front of town. At this point, you notice a few shops here in the sort of stockyard area. It's a large area, several sort of locked sheds adjacent to roomy warehouse kind of signs and roomy warehouse stores, sort of store hybrids. The nearest and largest one reads Arasek Stockyard with a wooden sign. Parked at its southern end is the sturdy carnival wagon that you saw, with sort of some peeling and faded lettering on the side that says Octavio's Carnival of Wonders. And there's a heavy padlock on the back door. Several other buildings with signs are spaced near the stockyard, including Bismarck's Bowery, Scrapsaver's Smithy, and Kemmelwright's Apothecary.
What was the second to last one?
Scrapsaver's Smithy.
Well,
So, a boyer, a smithy, and an apothecary.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
well, which one of these stores you think we could maybe sell some of the old jewelry? Get some more.
None of these are the general store, which had a different name.
You didn't get a name for a general store. I believe you
Didn't
heard Arasek Stockyard before.
Yeah, okay.
That might be a good place to start, but you have to ask yourself, what's in Octavio's caravan?
I mean, I am
Capri Sun Prof definitely needed.
I mean,
Great match number
as long as
three.
we don't have to talk to the man himself.
So, what I'm hearing is you're willing to be complicit in a breaking and entry.
I mean, can you be subtle?
Sometimes it is more so my
Can you be more subtle than the Ravens?
I think I can be more subtle than that. I want to approach the caravan
Okay.
and just, I want to kind of inspect more like the quality of the fittings and like how like well made his caravan is.
Sure, make an investigation check.
That's a good thing you have those temporary hit points.
Someone's gonna need them before this is all done.
I help myself. That's a 16.
Okay. The inscription on the door's wooden frame says, "I bring you from shadow into light." Closer inspection also notices that the side of the wagon are splattered with dry blood. And as you're looking around, you hear the scratching, and the whole wagon lurches toward you. And as though something big has thrown itself against the inside wall. And you hear sort of a and scraping metal and snarling of something inhuman coming from inside.
Let's just sit here for a moment. Maybe let's sit here for 60 seconds.
And you hear one of the doors from the stockyard open. What are you doing? Get away from there! That's not your wagon!
I'm trying to get some shade from the sun.
What sun? There is no sun here in Barovia. It's overcast. If you would like to get out from the rain, come on in.
People don't understand the effect of UV rays even in overcast conditions.
Janfel, let's listen to the nice man.
We'll go and
Come back later.
Jennifer, was it? And your name?
There, Lou.
Mary Lou, come on in. I'm Gunther, Arasek, and kind of as you guys are entering the store, he says, and this is my wife, Yelena. Inside is a sort of a dumpy-looking, sort of a little overweight-looking couple, but otherwise happy. You know.
You can't just call a couple dumpy looking.
One day someone's gonna call you a dumpy couple.
I embrace my own dumpiness. But in any case, these two, they're a little heavier set, but they have sort of a pleasant aura around them in how they sort of tag team things back and forth. They both sort of have a sort of darker brown hair. Yelena has some sort of reddish auburn tinge to hers. They say, "Oh, customers! Well, what can we get you? There's quite a few things that we have for sale. Well, some things since the break-in, but don't matter that. What can we do?"
What happened with the break-in? Like,
Well, things. Thieves, sold some stock of some torches, some shovels, cutlery, some weird other tools. Just a mishmash. It kind of doesn't make no sense. They left all the coin though, so I'm not really sure what to make of that. Frankly, there's been some challenges with supply and other things of late. I was sending a shipment to Kretsk, but apparently it never made it. The other half of my pay never came at any rate, and he kind of leans in, like close, trying to hide what he's saying from his wife. Oh, and he says, "Oh dear, would you mind double checking the inventory to make sure we have some rations and other things? I'm sure these folk might want to make some purchases." She kind of gives him a look and says, "Okay, Gunther, sure," and kind of walks into the back room. Look, it's almost our 10th wedding anniversary, and I commissioned in Kretz a jewel crafter to make a necklace for me. It was supposed to come with the shipment, and it hasn't arrived. I don't know what happened. It was on the road back from Kretsk, and then it never arrived. So I don't know what happened. But if you could find it, look, I'll pay you a good amount of premium. I really want to make sure that this is something special for her. And I can't hire no guards neither. Not after what happened to Long Lucas. He got shredded to bits by wolves, and everyone's asking crazy high prices for guards and all that sort of stuff. But look, I'll give you a special deal on anything I have here. Right now, my prices are a bit high because I'm low on stock and everything's a little tight. But I can give you a cut normal deal plus a little extra if you deliver the necklace back to me at some time before 2 weeks from now. Okay, 2 weeks from today is the day.
we'll consider it, but we have some other folks we're traveling with who probably want to see if this is something they'd like to do.
Might have an alternative.
Oh yes, I like alternatives.
Some of the jewelry.
Oh, wow.
Strike your fancy?
Well, this is nice, sort of. It's a little cheaper than what I had ordered, but maybe as a backup, certainly I'll buy at least some of it.
Okay, maybe we can work out a deal.
That sounds like a good idea. And he's like clearly super nervous, trying to like do this thing for his wife and like not mess it up.
But I'm pretty sure she just really appreciates your company anyways and doesn't need a fancy necklace.
I mean, look at me. I'm not a stellar stud.
Have you thought about writing her a nice poem?
Have you met that man, Rictavio?
He's garbage.
I'm about as good with a poem as he is with music.
You can commission me to write a poem for you.
And how to... Well, maybe that'll work. Look, can you come back in the evening? My wife likes to go to bed early. Maybe we can talk about like a whole deal there.
Oh, okay. But in the meantime, can you kind of show us some of your wares and what you have available?
Absolutely. That sounds like a wonderful idea. All right, so he's got a handful of things available, and sort of showing you with some of the general goods stuff. So he's got quite a few things available. So is there something particular that you'd like to see? Anything that you need on your adventure, or a particular thing that's troubling you?
Well, just the standards, like rations, adventuring gear, row, things of that nature.
Of course. Let me just make sure I've got all that information right here.
What about you?
Got any cool weapons?
Weapons aren't really my specialty, but if you visit the Scrap Savers or the Brewery, I'm sure you might be able to find something that suits your fancy. Yes, I can do rations. They are, let's see here, rations. That would be 5 electrum pieces per ration.
Seem to use a lot of electrum.
That is extremely expensive.
That is awesome.
As I said, we're a bit short with the break-in and with my shipments going awry, and that necklace was a lot of money. So we're all trying to make ends meet. I'm not the only one who had a break-in, if I understand. And so you might find similar prices kind of all the way around, I'm afraid. But look, if you recover the necklace, you'll get premium prices, I promise you.
Maybe we talk to our team about the necklace and then come back?
Yeah, but I don't think that... We might get some looks if we buy rations for... What was it again? 5 electron?
Yes,
Oh, no.
that's correct.
No, we can't do that.
I mean...
Look, if you promise to look for my necklace and leave one of these other ones here, I'll give you everything. I'll give you a deal. Maybe. Look, promise to come out to get my necklace. Leave one of these necklaces here, and I'll do, a good 1 silver per ration on a standard rate. Just this once, until you recover my necklace, then it's all good.
What if it's gone? What if it's...
Well, don't say that. That's not going to help my hope, now is it?
I'm sorry, you should have had an insurance policy.
Do you know how hard it is to get anything from Kretsk? Do you know how hard there is no insurance here in Barovia? Where the heck are you from?
Not from here.
I can tell. But in any case, can we do this deal? Please find my necklace, just please.
I think
We're not desperate.
we're not... Yeah. I was going to be slightly politer than that, but yeah. I mean, is marriage really what matters?
It is to me.
I mean, it's just a piece of paper at the end of the day.
No, it's my wife, and she's awesome.
I'm glad you appreciate her.
Yeah. She's like the best thing.
Does she really want a necklace? Or are there some other things that she would like?
Well, I'm pretty sure she would love the necklace.
I'm
And,
pretty sure you're wrong.
well, that's... Thank you, lady.
Poor
We
guy.
can talk about it later.
Well, thank you, that's nice.
I also provide those lessons.
Wow. Be safe. I'm not sure that's for me, personally, but I will just say that I think she would appreciate the necklace. I made her one when I asked her to marry me, and this is the replacement, because that one is a little bit worn over the years. So there you have it.
Alright, well, I don't want to make promises, but we'll look for it, and then
Thank
if we do, we'll bring it back.
Thank you.
to the next shop. Oh,
Okay.
just trying to. Are you gonna offer that to every shopkeeper?
You gotta monetize your skill set.
I mean, no judgment here. I worked as a
OnlyFans
farmer.
Barovia?
Yes.
Oh gosh.
OnlyFans Barovia?
No.
Yeah, I mean, darling,
Just Strahd's
I worked as a barmaid, and you know, a lot of my customers went to, I guess, people like you. So no judgment here.
People like me.
Beautiful people, darling.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful people.
Alrighty. So you guys are heading to the next shop?
Yes.
Okay, which shop would you like to go to? There's the apothecary, the blacksmith, and the bowery.
Well, Marina needs more crossbow bolts. And that lady, I've never seen anyone hit like so many things with a crossbow.
I do agree. Let's go get her some crossbow bolts.
Okay. It's a rather small converted warehouse inside. You see unstrung bows and crossbows hanging from the walls. There's many wolf and elk trophies as well. There's a bald old man, and he kind of looks up. It looks like he's blind in one eye. Hello? Who goes there? Not thieves, I hope.
No, I don't think.
Not
today.
Well, that's fortunate. Hope not tomorrow either.
Do thieves normally come in through the front door and say hi?
You never know. Well, we had a bit of a break-in lately, but anyway, what can I get you? I got a few things.
What'd they get in the break-in? That
Oh,
was
you know-
weird at the other place.
Most of a good bit of my ammunition. I only have 10 arrows, 10 bolts left. Been working hard to make some more. He kind of gestures at what he's working on, which just looks like a crossbow bolt that he's fletching. But I've got, they took a few bows, some crossbows too, but I've still got a longbow, short bow, and a light crossbow if you want them.
I know they took some of your ammunition, but it looks like you're making more.
That's correct, yeah.
How many crossbow bolts do you have, and how much are they?
I have 10 bolts for 2 gold.
Mary Lou have any idea what a crossbow bolt should cost.
Make a wisdom check.
Yeah, that's
Enjoy your negative.
Oh, it is a negative, isn't it?
that's 14.
Seems high, for sure.
Seemed a little high.
Well, I am down to my last batch. The last half batch, truth be told.
I mean, you do need her with a crossbow. And it seemed more reasonable than 5 electrum for a ration.
Is it though?
This is nothing.
I mean,
I don't know. I've never bought bolts before.
I mean, they're pot. Primarily, like, is this absurdly high, or is this, like, a little pricey?
Seems high, but I don't know.
Maybe they'll just report the prices back to Aguna. I don't want to buy something that's too expensive and hurry on it.
You know, that's fair. Plus, I think we'd be spending the part of gold on this, so we probably should, you know, we spend enough of our own gold.
We're doing window shopping today.
We're doing window shopping.
Price comparisons.
Well, no harm in that. Come on back anytime.
What was your name?
Oh, Bismarck.
Hi, Bismarck. Thank you so much. Did you know that your neighbors got broken into also?
I did. We all spoke. Poor Ivan got hit as well. He kind of gestures to the blacksmith space. But I'm pretty sure Han Rover made that okay. He kind of gestures off to the apothecary.
Oh. Suspicious. Okay.
Well, have a nice day. Come back anytime. I'll try to have some more arrows for you.
Thanks,
Thank
Bismarck.
you.
No problem.
Okay, smithery. See if
Okay.
they have any beautiful axes, and then maybe we try to find out why the apothecary didn't get broken into.
Probably got like magic words and stuff, but we'll find out.
Okay, so you hear some clanging rhythmic beats of metal and a sweltering forge area that's open in the back. The door's shut and locked, but you go around back to the following the sound, and you see a young and muscular man in sort of an apron, sleeveless face, working at the forge. He's missing his left leg and has all the way up to mid-thigh. It has a series of metal and wood attachments as sort of a false limb. So Well, hey there. It's not every day that I get customers as lovely as you. What can I do you?
Jennifer will whip out her fan that's got that little kitten on it.
Okay.
Is it hot in here?
Forge does do that to you. Sorry for the
Alright.
sweat.
Oh, what's your name?
Ivan Kasakova, if you
Hi,
please.
Ivan.
Also known as the Scrap Saver.
Scrap saver. Interesting. My friend here is looking for an axe, I think.
I mean, I'm always looking for a good axe.
Nice piece of axe.
Well, I do have an axe or two. I have to say, most of the my good gear was stolen a little bit ago, maybe a week. And I've really been piecing together. This is why I've recently earned the name Scrap Saver. I'm piecing together old rusty bits and metal, kind of making it as good of a better quality. If you come back in a few days, I might be able to have something of higher quality. I can sell it to you now. It just might not be as good.
I mean, I'm not in desperate need of
Yeah,
an
never
axe.
rush a craftsman.
Yeah, but you said his fake leg had like attachments on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to pry, but I did have a friend who recently lost his foot, and he has like a peg leg. But what you have looks cooler.
Well, thank you. I did lose my leg to a bad wolf bite that went septic a few years back. Made this for myself, old Frosty. Yeah, it's
Old Frosty?
yeah, that's correct. It's jointed, you see, so it bends at the knee like a bent knee should, got some extra supports and things like that. So quite comfortable, really. I could make your friend one. It would take a little bit of time and coin, of course.
He's really dour about the whole situation. Maybe if you're free tonight, I would love to buy you a drink at the inn, and maybe I can introduce you. You can talk about your experience with the.
My lady, that's mighty kind. I don't want to be rude here, but I did have a break-in, and so I really need to watch over what left I have. I don't need another break-in
I'll
happening.
bring it all to the inn.
I'm not sure that'll work so well. I've got a fair bit of metal to playing around in the inn. Guard might not take so kindly to that.
Thank you. So, or was it just like a break-in overnight and you weren't here? Because you seem to have a lot of weapons, and I mean that's if I were a thief, I wouldn't go after the guy with a bunch of weapons.
I was, in fact, at Blue Water Inn at the time. So I'm a little leery now to be heading out, if you understand me.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Well, you're welcome back anytime, the fair pair.
Could you take a look at these pieces of jewelry? We're not really familiar with metals. We don't really know their worth.
Well, I'm not a goldsmith, my lass, but I can have a look. What do you have for me?
Read. Okay, read the password.
We have 3, I think it was golden rings, 1 necklace.
And
Three golden rings, 1 thin platinum necklace. You can show me the other stuff if you want.
This here is right tarnished, he says as you pull out the rings and stuff. Anything that came from the jewelry box is tarnished, you know. But this is platinum. He kind of fingers it through. Worth something.
That is something.
Well, to me, I would just melt them all down, so only worth what the metal weight is as good as it's going to be. You get better prices off in Kretsk. I don't want to be a dishonest man here, but I know there's a jewelry smith over there. Erisic has done some business with him here and there, so you might get better prices there.
You seem like an honest man, and honestly, most people, they try to swindle us when we go and get things appraised. Could you give us a ballpark so we know when we're being haggled and hassled?
I see. Well, so what are the pieces that you have?
We have 3 golden rings, thin platinum necklace. That's pretty much the.
And that's all from the house?
Yeah.
Okay. And anything else?
We have like the moss agates, but I suspect that's a metal smith, and then just 6 pieces of jewelry. I think that was just like the cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper stuff from the hags. He says, well, I'd probably not pay too much for these, and he's handling the cheaper pieces of jewelry. But still worth some gold, certainly, so don't take less than that. And he handles the rings and the platinum. Hard to say, really, but platinum's probably worth at least, a couple dozen gold, in its current state. But if you made it up nice, could be something worth more. The rings, probably only a couple gold each.
Are you going to be at the mandatory festival?
Well, it is mandatory, so yes.
I'll buy you a drink there.
Sounds lovely.
Great.
I look forward to it, my lady.
Next.
Yeah, let's head to the apothecary.
Okay. Foul smells of rotten spinach and bad eggs permeates this space, with shelves and barrels stuffed with various herbs, bottles of liquids, and strange spices. It's a sort of taller lady with tufty shock of graying black hair on the sides and bright green eyes. She's got an apron and gloves on at all times. She says, "Oh, welcome! Come on in, come on in. What can I get you?"
What do you have?
Well, all sorts. I got herbs, oils, tinctures, bandages, healer's kits. I've got some healing potions even, and antitoxins for those who've gotten run afoul from, sepsis and all sorts. So I can do whatever. Certainly it's nice to have some appreciating customers.
Yeah, we're particularly surprised about your inventory based on how many break-ins we've been hearing about lately.
Oh well, I can take care of myself. I have a pretty good security system, as it were. So don't get any ideas. It's nice to just know that you have some interest. There's some this baron of ours. Not good, I say. Not good. Much rather follow. Well, I trust you. Much rather follow Lady Wachter, of course. She's much more of the right kind of mind, in my opinion. I'll show them. I'm not puffed up nonsense. Nonsense indeed.
Well,
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you all into it. It's just that they denied my funding for the research project to protect against the devil.
oh, what sort of research are you doing that protects against the devil?
Oh, all sorts. Different machinations and workings. Still too junior to really see the light of day, I would say.
Of the arcane variety?
Oh, of a fashion, perhaps. Mostly different protecting agents.
That are magical in nature?
Could be.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
I want to see if she's bullshitting.
And you see if you're bullshit.
I should be able to. 19?
Sounds like she's being pretty truthful, though you're not sure what she means by the nature of her projects.
Okay.
Well, how much would I have no clue how much a healing potion should cost. How much do yours?
50 gold.
Seems a little. I mean, we don't have gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you have some gold,
I mean,
come on back once you do.
if you want to flirt with this one,
Sure, why not? You look like you know a lot about magic.
I know a bit, but I'm a lady of learning myself.
Would you care to look at some items that might pique your interest, satisfy your intellectual
Perhaps I'll do a
curiosity?
trade. What do you have?
Well, more along the lines of an identification of sorts. Show you an interesting specimen, and you can tell me your thoughts about it, and we can exchange a sort of intellectual banter.
Oh, I like specimens. What kind?
And I'll put the 3 vials that I got from the hag's house. I came across these in my travels.
And she kind of reaches into a shelf behind her and attaches a little, extending glass
Be very
from her
careful.
eye. Yes, thank you. And she kind of wafts. Yeah! Ah! Oh, this one. Okay, interesting. Yes, I thought so. Would you mind
I'm going to what?
if I run a little test?
Depends on the test.
A little dropper?
Does a bullet ruin it?
Could be.
Okay, fine.
I thought so. Yes, well, it looks like you've got a few different things going on here. This one, she points to the one that's marked youth, will make the imbiber younger and more attractive for a day.
Oh.
This one Don't drink it. It's, if I'm correct, it's sickness.
Oh.
Make you laugh until you start bleeding.
Which one?
This is the one marked laughter, reddish. And she points to the pale, milky one. Don't drink this one either. That's straight poison. Pale tincture, if I had to guess.
Oh. Is it like a dosage kind of thing? Maybe I could give someone a little bit of the laughter and just have a good time.
They probably won't like it.
Okay, good to know.
Cackle fever is no joke.
Cackle fever.
Cackle fever.
Which you guys recognize as like a sickness. That
Okay.
is a transmutable disease.
Oh, okay. So this is like an infectious agent?
It's effectively an effective infectious agent.
Okay. Interesting. So, what are your thoughts of these? Have you come across these often?
No, can't say I have. I've brewed some teas and things like that, but nothing as awful as this.
Yeah, we didn't find them in a very friendly place.
I can imagine.
What about magical items?
What about them?
Did that pique your interest at all?
Oh, yes, quite.
I have a robe, but I think I got it from the Durst house. But I pulled it out a few times, and I'm not sure if we
Yeah, some of Dirt's house.
if we've said anything about its state.
What was it?
Okay.
Hello.
Magic, weapon, magic, light blue cloak.
Yep.
So I'll pull that out. Be like,
It's very nice, very nice quality. Yes,
really nice
yes.
color, right?
And she kind of taps her eyeglass a little bit and kind of gives a little shimmer for a second. Yes, yes, yes. Lots of, lots of. It's a cloak of protection.
Oh.
If you wear it, it will make you more protected. Improve your defenses, that sort of thing.
Do you sense any sort of cursing or negative energies?
I do not, and I'm well versed in those.
Autocorrect into cloaca of protection.
Not the same thing. That is not the same thing. Nope. Don't wear that. Don't wear that.
You know, I'm so rude. I did not get your name from this entire time.
Oh, I am Hymrova Kemlerite. And you are?
I'm Jennifer. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. And the lady?
Marilou.
Mary Lou. Good to meet you.
Well, Hyrova, it's been a pleasure, and I'll slip her 5 silver pieces for helping me try to figure out what these items were. It was
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
intellectual curiosity of my own.
I love it.
And we will give you a glowing review on whatever fantasy review system we have in the area. And the bulletin in the tavern.
Okay. Well, that sounds excellent. I could use some more customs, that's for sure. I'm just trying to pull up the info on cloak protection.
Can I have the
I believe it gives you +1 armor class and +1 to saving throws.
Oh boy, I need that.
Nice.
I don't have it in my notes.
Lydia
It's
had one.
That's pretty good.
yeah, pretty good, pretty handy
Helped
stuff.
in the end, but you know.
But I'll look it up on break. And speaking of break, if there's anything else you guys are gonna have to do there in the apothecary, we'll probably take a quick break here before picking up with the rest of the team. Sorry, it's been back and forth. I've been trying to juggle
Perfect. That's all
as
good.
best as you can. So yeah, we'll go ahead and head for a few minutes break, and we'll be back in a little bit.
That's good. What were the 3 vials? I'm sorry.
Okay, so we return from our break as the team was split up in various places in Vallaki. Jennifer and Mary Lou were investigating and talking with the apothecary. They had just met with her and got some of their items appraised. And otherwise, we're just about to leave there. We'll pick up with you guys in just a second. We're going to head over to the other part of the group who we're going to go check over at Irina's behest at the orphanage, St. Andrew's Orphanage, just beyond the church, which they had just visited. So, anything you guys want to do on the way there?
Take a look around and see what's about.
Okay, make a perception check.
You want to make 1, 2, Nora?
Sure.
20 total. 1 second.
3?
Only one hit.
You get the sense you're being followed. But you're not entirely sure who by.
Okay. Just in normal conversation, I'll say, hey, by the way, we might be someone following us.
And at this, Irina's like, where? Who is
Okay,
it? Where is
Irina,
he?
come on. You've done this before. No rubbernecking.
Oh.
Can't let it go.
But, okay.
Come on. Don't
You're
pretend
right,
we
you're
don't
right. Yes, sure. Just keep a watchful eye, please.
Hey.
Thank you for telling me. You guys head over, though, without any further event. It's not too far from the church to get to the St. Andrew's Orphanage. It's the very edge of town, though, so you can see the far western gate. It's a sad 3-story building that sort of stands alone. Has battered shutters on the windows, a sign of wear and tear, and a very lived-in look. But you head on up to the sort of open the fence and walk all the way up to the doorway there. And sort of give a knock on the door, and opens. And there's a sort of tired-looking woman there in her late 40s, graying, sort of tawny hair and wrinkles around her eyes. She has dark hair, dark bags beneath her chocolate eyes. They almost look like bruises. And she says, "Oh, hello. What can I do for you?"
Well, we're here Irina would probably speak, but we're here escorting Lady Irina, and we were in the company of some children who we rescued along our adventures, and we came to check and make sure that they were all right and had settled in.
Oh, of course, yes, the poor dears. They've been sleeping a lot since they got here. Poor things, I think, haven't been sleeping well lately. Not that I can blame them. And have been taken to that, but they're settling in all right. You're welcome to come visit them. Right now, when they're sleeping, I'd prefer if you didn't wake them, but if you have a message for them or anything, I'll be sure to pass it along.
Can we tell if she's lying?
Make an insight check.
17 plus 72. Insight plus 3, 20, non-natural 20.
Yeah, she seems genuine.
Okay.
And Irina says, "Well, yes, it is good that they are sleeping. I do not want to disturb them. Please contact me. I will be at St. Andrew's Church. If there is any trouble with them whatsoever, I will stand for them. It is good to know that there is another who is willing to stand with the children." And she says, I am Claudia Vallaki, and you, Irina, I forgot your name, and you were?
I'm Darian, and this is Nora.
Nora's not there.
Oh.
She started walking slower and slower as we started getting to the orphanage and didn't make it to her.
Okay.
Okay. And I sort of look around, I'm like, and... Okay, and this is Claudia.
Well, Claudia Ficaladu, it's very nice to meet you.
Is your name short for anything?
Just Claudia.
Oh, okay. Maybe next time.
But, yeah, perhaps. I'm not sure that's how names work, though.
Second time around, you'll get the hang of it.
Well, in any case, you're welcome to visit at any time, or if you'd like to come and play with the children, I'm sure they'll really appreciate that.
Some of our companions may be by later, and Darian will give the description of Jennifer and Mary Lou, to bring small gifts for the children. We wanted to make sure that their time here was as easy as possible, given the hard upbringing.
That sounds wonderful. I'm sure they would love it. Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you guys. Well, be back anytime you like. Excuse me, sorry. You'll be back anytime you like.
Are you alright? Are you alright?
Oh, yes, of course. I just haven't slept too well of late. But
what's been keeping you awake?
Oh, just working, and Billy and Stubbs have chicken pox again, and picking up their scabs oozing all over. It's a bit of a mess, but we're keeping ahead of it, and I'm making sure they don't give it to the other kiddos. So don't worry about the newcomers. We'll take care of them all nice and safe. Yeah, I just haven't been getting good sleep. Some troubled dreams lately.
Have we seen any of the children since arriving?
No, she's standing at the door though.
Okay.
No one's like playing out in the yard or anything.
Okay.
But you do hear some like thudding on the stairs and stuff like that. Like there's movement and stuff like that.
Children
Kiddos moving
inside.
around.
Okay. Okay. Well, is there anything we can do to help? We're here for a few days, and we're helping. We've offered to provide some help to the church, and since I'm sure you have a close relationship with the church,
We
we'd
do,
like
yes.
to extend that to you if there's something we can help you
Father
with.
Lucian is very generous, and he passes along a lot of his donations to the orphans here and for our benefit. So helping him is helping us. But it sounds like you are already going to bring by, your companion's already going to bring by some lovely gifts, and I think that is wonderful. Anything you're willing to give, we are willing to take. I'm sure we can make use of it, but I would not press too hard on you for such things.
Okay. Anything you guys want to do here, or work for do?
Looking at her there, does she look visibly sick or anything? Just tired?
Make a medicine check.
That'll be 16.
She looks very tired, very worn, and looks wan or drawn and sort of sunken a little bit. She doesn't look, she's not showing any kind of visible signs or anything like that aside from the cough. Nothing super obvious, but clearly worn down. The
Okay.
bags under her eyes and stuff like that. I mean, looks like she's maybe insomniac.
Okay. So, I don't know if this will work, but I'm also a member of the church, so just give me your hand for a second.
Yes.
I'll, I guess, shake her hand and cast Cure Wounds.
It's a
Okay.
lady, you can hold her hand.
On what level? At what level?
Sorry. First level.
Go ahead and roll.
Keep it business.
Keep it business?
I shake her hand to give her heels.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like,
Shake
come
for
on.
heels. That's the Clitters t-shirt if I've ever heard one.
She gets 9 health back.
Oh, well, that was a nice handshake. Thank you very much. Excuse me.
Maybe keep you on your feet a little longer.
Yes. We can all use a little bit of that, I'm sure. Well, it was lovely to meet each of you, and I look forward to seeing you again, and perhaps meeting these other companions of yours. Will that be all, sirs? And,
So
yes?
we'll leave.
Nora's just sitting at the gate entrance, like staring at the ground.
Okay.
What's wrong, Nora? Why didn't you come in with us?
I just don't like these places.
Inside check.
Okay, go make an insight check.
9.
She doesn't seem to like these places.
How are the kids?
We didn't get to see them, but we're told they're well.
Okay.
Hopefully when the rest of our party comes and visits, I'm sure
It seems they are
appreciate it.
settling in, and the poor dears are sleeping after a long ordeal.
Did you happen to see how many kids are in that orphanage?
We didn't. We only heard that there were several groups, one of which seems to be sick with chickenpox.
Chickenpox.
But they're
Did she
trying to
say
keep
how
it
many with
isolated.
chickenpox?
How many? 3?
Just two, I believe.
And she'll kind of just do like a big, like, sigh, but turn and slowly like walk to the door of the orphanage.
Okay, you walk on up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, but we already visited. But you go ahead and knock.
Yeah.
And you open, and you see the lady that I described before. And she says, "Oh, yes, hello, are you the other companion? Are you here with the toys?"
I'm a different companion, still same group of companions.
Ah,
I heard you have some kids that aren't doing so great. I might be able to help them if you would like me to.
well, let's start with your name, sweetie.
Oh, you can call me Nora.
Oh, well, you can call me Claudia. Well, Nora, I have 2 kiddos with chicken pox. As you know, kind of contagious. So you
Yeah.
might want to be careful. But if there's something you can do to help, I'm not going to let you out of my sight. I'm not going to let you hurt them.
Oh
but
no, that is the last thing I want to
but
do.
I can take you to them. Billy and Stubbs are definitely having a little bit of a hard time. So
Is there a side door I could meet them at instead of having to walk through the orphanage?
no, there's a back door to the play yard. But right now it's not playtime, and if I call them all out, then it'll be very hard to keep the two separate from all the rest of the kiddos. Give them the box too. So perhaps it's best if we just walk up to their rooms together.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Okay, well, right this way. And, it's the same kind of thing that you would expect from an orphanage. All run, hand-me-down and stuff like that. You see a few girls running up the stairs after they've clearly been, eavesdropping on the conversation. Agnes and Ira, they always are listening at conversations. I try and get them out of it, but it's a hard habit to break.
It's okay,
Anyway.
they need something to entertain themselves here.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's a crucial thing. A couple of your friends were going to be buying some toys. We're really looking for that. As long as they're good kids, we'll make sure that everyone gets a little bit of playtime. We always can use some of that. Right this way. They're first and second door on the left here on the second floor. You head on in, and those are Billy and Stubbs' rooms. She sort of knock. Billy, there's someone here to see you. Someone who can help you make you feel better. Go away, Itchy! No! Billy, it's okay. Billy, it's okay. We'll be all better. You won't be any itchy anymore. And she kind of pushes the door open, and it's what you expect, a pretty worn, hand-me-down everything kind of room. And a little kid covered in chicken pox, scratching, little boy. What do you want? Stay away, don't get itchy.
Do you mind if I just look at the spots real quick?
Yeah, they're right here.
Yeah, I know. That looks very, very itchy.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I know. Hold on just a sec, and I'll kind of hold his arm to look at it, but as I'm doing that, I'm going to do lay on hands, but do the 5 hit point conversion to cure disease/poison.
Okay, so as you there's a flash of sort of a sort of silvery light, unlike the greens that you used to been using. It kind of flows over him, and for a second, Claudia's like, and then he's like, and the scabs and stuff sort of soothe into the skin and sort of smooth on out. Thank you, lady.
Yeah,
No more
it's
itchies.
better.
That's so
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
Thank you so
good.
much.
Yeah.
I'm so itchy.
Yeah. You can go outside and play.
Yeah.
What's
Play.
your-
Woo!
No,
And he
what's
kind of
what
just
I told
bolts
you?
right
Can I,
past. He
grab
rolls.
him? Can I grab him?
He's already
Okay.
woo, out the room. He's like, well, that was a fantastic thing. You really can do something wonderful for them. You might have to work on some of the remnant effects, reining them in, but you did a great job. Wow, let's get take care of Stubbs. This poor thing's been scratching. He's worse than Billy.
Sorry, I don't have kids of my own, so.
No worries. Well, there's plenty to learn here. If you're ever looking for a job, we can use some of your talents. She kind of leads you into the second room, same as the first. This kid just spots everywhere, and he's like, itchy.
I'll be like, hey, you want to see a magic, something fun?
Grr.
Yeah. I pull something behind his ear and then boop his nose and lift up his chin, keep your head up
Yeah.
type thing, and do lay on hands again.
Okay, so again, the same silvery glow, and it washes over him. And again, you see him recede back to normal, and thank you so much, thank you!
Of course.
Claudia's like, why don't you go play? Billy's better too. I know the two of you love to get into the thick of it. Just take it easy for a little bit. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. Billy, wait up! And he kind of runs out of the room. Well, that was truly magnificent. You are welcome back anytime. I'm happy to pay you for your services. Whatever we can do for you.
No,
But
I don't want pay. You don't have chicken pox, do you?
no, I do not. I am
Okay.
thankfully not.
Okay.
I'm very careful.
Well, those gifts will be on their way, and they will see you soon. And then I'll just quickly start and walk out because
Okay.
And that's awkward.
As you're walking out, just before you get to the last door, you hear, "Nice to see you again, honey."
No. Wait.
So that's
Can I
what,
whip around and see if there's something there?
no one is there.
No one.
Make a perception check. Claudia already walked off. Like, she didn't follow you downstairs.
I got that one.
You are so freaked out, you just cannot, like, your vision
I'm like,
is
I'm
blurring.
done. And I just
yeah.
like run out the door, like past the gate.
Okay, you catch up with the rest of your party.
Yeah.
Don't run into the city. Remember what happened last time?
Yes,
Alright.
yes,
We're already in
calm
trouble
down.
with this.
Well,
Okay.
Is everything okay?
Yeah. The kids feel a little better.
Make an insight check.
After her bone wings,
Oh
Claudia does not
my
trust her at all.
Yes.
This time it's a 21.
Sarah, why don't you explain what Nora would be giving away at this moment? What you could, what Claddu could read from her behavior.
You can tell she's sweating a little bit, and she's like, she can't really focus that well, and she seems almost a little out of sorts, which is a little unusual because Nora's usually like very like cool, like so like just a little freaked out.
Okay.
Bad memories, perhaps?
Oh, you could say that.
Well, no worries. I know what it is to be an orphan of a sorts, although I was taken in by a very kind man. In any case, why don't we return to the rest of our group here, and we can have a good rest of the day, yes?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are heading back to the inn, or anything else that you guys want to do? It's probably been a couple...
To go to the jewel
That's
location.
like another.
That's another
That's-
town.
Oh, another town?
Yeah.
It's not here.
Krez.
Kretz.
Yeah.
Got it.
Just to keep track of time in game, it's probably been at least a few hours as you guys have been going around and talking to various folks. So it's probably early evening time, beginnings of starting to be evening.
Want to head back to the inn and hear this minstrel's tales and whatever gossip he's got?
On their way back to the inn, Marilou's gonna look at Jennifer. So, that guy at the Smiths,
Oh, he's hot, huh?
you seem to have
I didn't see a ring on his finger.
I mean,
Did you rings here? I don't know.
I have no clue what is ever going on here. Just be careful, okay? I want to see you get hurt, lady.
Thank you.
Just sometimes people can look charming and nice, and then you get to know them, and they ain't anymore.
Oh, I know. I'm well aware.
You don't want to see you get hurt. Hey, hun?
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate that. You don't have to worry about me though. It's not my first rodeo.
As you guys are talking while you're leaving the apothecary, go ahead and make a... I'm going to have to make two rolls. One is going to be a wisdom saving throw,
Oh no.
Here we go.
and the next is going to be a perception check.
For both of us, or
Just for Jennifer.
Okay, I'll do this one as wisdom.
Actually, both of you can make the perception check.
14 for wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
And a 7 for perception.
Okay. How'd you do in perception, Mary Lou?
15.
Okay. Interestingly, so, you don't notice any weird effects or anything unusual, but sort of after a little bit, you feel a little bit of something like brush, like the back of your neck, kind of a little bit, like disturb your hair a little, and you kind of look like, oh, is someone looking at me? You know, kind of look. And then you, Mary Lou, is like yanking on your shoulder and pointing down at your shadow, which is waving at you off the ground and is pointing to the cellar behind the apothecary.
What? Does this do this normally?
No! Is it dirt ground?
What?
Is it dirt ground?
Yeah, mostly.
You kick at the dirt, trying to get the...
Should we follow? I don't know what to do in this situation, Jennifer.
I guess we should go. Let's go. I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're gonna make it seem. Let's pretend like nothing's happening.
Interestingly, as you get in front of her, the shadow moves around to be attached and going against the way it would normally bend, but is still waving to get your attention and pointing in that direction.
I guess we should go just to get rid of it so we don't.
Yeah, we're gonna get in trouble.
You also notice that she's got some like dripping black something coming out of her mask.
Honey, right
Oh
here.
god, what is going on? I'll just like get something out of my bag and just. Oh god. Okay, this is really embarrassing.
Let's go to the cellar, I guess.
Yeah, let's get out of the public eye for a second.
Okay, you head into the little alley space
Okay.
between the shops that has a cellar. It looks like it's padlocked, but and your shadow has stopped making any motions or anything like that. It's totally normal shadow now.
Maya,
Should we
it's your
listen?
shit. Yeah, let's listen.
Okay. You go ahead and do that.
Marilu will attempt to listen.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check.
You're a brave one, Jenny.
And while she's listening, I'm gonna like take out my mirror and look underneath to see if I can see what's going on.
Okay. As you do that, you hear just getting to know you. And what you see is just like a black pit, but you do see like a swirling little bit of shadow congealing where your eyes should be.
Just gonna put the mask back.
That.
What's going over there?
Well, I'm actually gonna reroll that inspiration.
Okay? You using birthday inspiration or just...
Yeah. And then roll the 2 on the reroll.
Can't be less than a 10 for your birthday
That's
inspiration.
Yes,
That's your
but
birthday.
the first roll was a 12, which would be a 10.
Okay. Well, listening at the thing, you hear like a rattling of chains very faintly from down within the cellar, but otherwise, nothing else.
There's chains. They're rattling.
Okay. So you're down with this, right? Like I'm gonna break into this.
Quietly.
Okay. Can you keep eye on the alleyway and make sure no one's coming this way? And if someone starts coming this way, just start singing a loud bar song.
Copy that.
Okay? Alright. And if something's happening in there, I'm just gonna fucking scream.
Okay, I think I can get that.
Okay. I would like to approach the padlock, and I am going to do an instantaneous cast of Detect Magic. I'm going to spend a meta magic point to have it be a longer spell, so I can double the spell.
Double the spell duration.
Yeah, double the spell duration.
Okay.
Which is, it says up to 10 minutes or 20 minutes.
Here, let me show you, is what you hear. And through your mask, again, the whole world begins to illuminate with magical energies, and you're seeing through that eye. You see a little rat somewhere around the corner, just darting and kind of looking up at you, and then scurrying away. But you do not appear to detect any magic that is in or around the lock or the doors.
Is it... Do I recognize this rat?
You do. The rat appears magical.
So you're just trying to show me the rat?
There are many things to see here.
Okay. Well, with Detect Magic up, I want to take just a quick couple of seconds and check the padlock for traps.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Just because it's the apothecary lady. Wait, that is a 10 and that's 11.
You don't notice any traps?
Okay, I'm gonna pick the lock. Okay. I'm gonna pick the lock.
Okay.
Is it a performance?
No. Picking lock is a dexterity roll. Roll and add your dexterity bonus.
Oh.
If you're proficient with thieves' tools, you can also add your proficiency bonus.
Okay, cool.
So roll plus dex plus proficiency.
Oh, okay, that's 20, dirty 20.
Okay. After a little bit, pull the padlock off.
Oh shit. I'm gonna try to open the cellar door. I don't know how heavy it is.
Okay, make a strength check. There's resistance.
That is 16.
Okay. Big grating greasy, in need of grease hinges just yanked open, and you kind of hear like a. You hear something?
I'll send a message. Start coughing.
Just someone with the coughs. Do you hear about the innkeeper lady? She's been coughing. The orphan keeper. She's been coughing a lot. Yeah, I don't know what's up with her. And they kind of walk away. Seems you're covered for now.
Okay, I'm gonna go in.
Okay. Descending step by step, you hear a little like of rattling chains and rasping noises, and then you hear sort of a kind of amalgam voice coming through. You also hear sort of a but it's completely dark down here, but for a sort of eerie greenish light, it's not too far down below. And
I do have dark vision.
okay, so you can see that the staircase heads all the way down. You don't notice any particular. Go ahead and make a perception check, actually, for me, please.
Maybe not 6.
Okay. You carry on. Not too far. And you trip over a tripwire. And stumble all the way down to the bottom of the stairs, where you also hear some. So I get to make a couple attack rolls against you here, as 4 darts.
Did you
come
put your
shooting.
cloak on?
It's not tuned.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have a 22, a 23, and a 16 that might hit you.
Nicholas! Yes, all of you.
Okay. Go ahead and make 3 Constitution saving throws, please. You take 3 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
What about being poisoned?
Oh, God. Okay, that's, one is, you said, sorry, Constitution?
Yep.
6.
That's a fail.
18. Oof.
Okay, that's a pass.
7. These die are not really easy
Okay,
to
so
see.
you passed 1.
Okay.
So the one you passed, you take no damage there. But the other together, you take a total of 10 points of poison damage, and you are poisoned for the next hour.
Okay. That was good.
As you've stumbled down, creating a whole lot of noise, all the way down to the bottom of the stairs, you come to a crack against the wall there, and then you see the source of the eerie green light, and you're hearing all sorts of crazy noises all amalgamated together, and you're seeing this like shaft of tanks of green light, and there's sort of a almost picklish liquid there, and you see several tanks. In one tank, you see a bunch of what look like heads with sharp fangs, just severed heads with sharp fangs, with bat wings grafted onto their sides. Just a little bit farther down, you see what looks like a rotting corpse of a creature with half of a flower and thorny plants of vines growing out of it. Huge, just creeping, crawling things, and it's just sort of floating stasis there in the water. And just a little bit beyond, you see something even more terrifying than all of those, which is and it's in chains underwater, and it's batting back and forth. What looks to be the combination of a human with feathers reaching from their wings and a sort of beak-like shaped face, but sort of half human, half raven creature. Talons and things like that. It's humanoid size, but kind of small. Stitched with it, and with its head protruding from the neck like a conjoined twin, is the head of a wolf, and the claw of a wolf extending from the sternum. It's some kind of weird amalgamation creature stitched all together, and where it's stitched, it's got this sort of greenish thread lined back and forth, and it's just sort of raging and crashing back and forth against its chains while the others sit stasis in their liquid.
Okay.
You also hear like a cling, 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 cling. Seems that you set off some sort of alarm by triggering the tripwire there.
I'm gonna send a message to Mary Lou, like, open the cellar door, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna run back up the stairs.
Okay. You open the cellar door, and you go ahead and make a dexterity roll. Just straight roll. You are at disadvantage because you're poisoned.
Well, can't get worse than that. 1.
Okay, you're sort of scrabbling, but the floor is slick with this liquid as the creature's been splashing around. So you sort of slip and fall to the ground for a second, and the creature is sort of tearing at its chains, trying to get at you.
Oh gosh, don't turn me into one of them.
And it's like pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, and the chain comes apart, and it bursts open. The tank floods forward down into the cellar with you. This creature's probably 20 feet away, and it slops with a sort of squelching noise, and it sort of skitters toward you in a fast, sort of nightmarish, monstrous sort of movement. Go ahead and roll initiative.
My God.
Does she start screaming?
I mean, that just happened. So I can scream once we start initiative, I guess.
Okay. So, we're at a good stopping point so that we don't get involved with the combat.
Okay.
So with that, on that lovely note, as the team is split apart, with Mary Lou serving as guardsman and sentinel for the inquisitive Jennifer, who has stumbled into some kind of secret that her whispering voice told her to come check out, and has set off a few traps, set off a few alarms, and set loose some kind of
Everything
nightmare.
went wrong.
Just everything.
Nightmare amalgam creature. With that is where we will pick up next week. We will be back to Sundays at 6 p.m. As per normal, and we will be under a new banner, which is, to remind everybody, the Dragon Poet Society. So Dragon Poet Society is where to look on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and it will be here on Twitch as well once we get the authority to move that over. That should happen in the next couple days. So thank you so much for watching, for all of you who tuned in at home, and thank you guys for being here with me and enjoying. Happy birthday, belated or upcoming, to Megan. And belated, yes. And we will see everybody next time. So thanks so much for watching.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night, guys.